Olivas going to the corner of the end zone. Nice grab there by Josh Jackson, and that's going to be a touchdown, El Dorado.
Their strong point, their focal point there.
Nelson will keep it himself for some room on the right side. Nelson's on his feet and he is in. It's a touchdown for Noah Nelson.
Sliding, and they slid out of going out there. Linebacker, they're going for the big gutter play. How did he hold on to that, Ethan Olguin? My goodness, a 32-yard bomb. He's going to launch this one long, and it's a little bit short, but what a pull down. Fabian Trujillo, unbelievable, this man.
Dyer, back to pass. Pressure, gets out of it nicely. On the sideline, got an open man. It's Lambrana. Cheeto makes one miss. Cuts back up the middle. Another cut to the right, and he's all the way down at the 10-yard line.
That's Sweet Pete Jr.?
Right?
That's Sweet Pete Jr. right
What
there.
a move there by Cheeto Lambrera.
Second and 1, give it to Gallus. Once again, he evades one tackle, evades two. Breaking into the open, there's a block, bye-bye. And he breaks the last tackle to get through. Jack Gallus with the touchdown.
Happy with his defense so far. Vukovic, and that ball is ripped up. Bernalillo will have this ball at the 1-yard line.
That's the extra yards for Cheeto. Dyer quickly, it's batted into the air, and it is picked off. Rams football as Rio Rancho finally gets the turnover they need as it's tipped into the waiting arms of Vicente Tafoya. Ryan Brown had punched it into the air and allowed Tafoya to come away with it. Let's see if Nelson can make it
right
pay.
back.
No! LaCueva gets it back on another tip drill. It falls into the waiting arms of the senior Luke Ryder.
Kick is up. It will bounce into the arms of Daniel Garcia, and Garcia explodes through the middle. He dodges Castro, and Garcia will run that one back from about the 17-yard line. Call that one an 83-yard touchdown rush.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am
morning. She's
Just lay down.
Now.
It's 7 a.m.
It's 7 a.m. Time for the opening drive.
Voted the best sports show in New Mexico
for 5 years running. It's the OD and the AM with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Remember when you thought you knew? Like, I don't know, yesterday morning. Remember when you thought you knew how good Cincinnati was and how good Seattle was and how crummy the Rams are and how crummy Tampa Bay is, and then you realize, as our good friend Marty has told us many times over the 15 plus years on this show, it's a week-to-week league, and you don't know squat. Although you do know this. You do know you enjoy that mess, don't you? You do enjoy a full weekend of NFL football, preceded by a full weekend of college football, capped by Monday Night Football right here on your home for football, 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal, your home for Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday Night Football. But it's also your home for the opening drive. This morning and every morning, Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, DC. How y'all living? Woo!
That sums it up really well, actually. That's where I am. This is the first time in a long time. It was a Saturday and Sunday.
It was good, huh?
Football. Oh, it was great. Are you kidding me?
I mean, everything from Texas, Alabama to the App State, North Carolina game to the Lobos' big win to everything we got yesterday, capped by. It was kind of like watching a Conference USA team play or a Mountain West team play an SEC team yesterday. That's what I felt like when I was watching Cowboys-Giants last night. Like, literally. When we watched the Lobos and A&M a week and a half ago, or a week plus ago, or you watch, one of the, right? Isn't that what the Cowboys-Giants felt like last night?
Oh, yeah.
No,
game?
Seriously. Didn't it feel like a money game? It felt like it felt like
yes.
Sam Houston State went to play Alabama. Although Sam Houston State gave Air Force all they wanted this weekend, but didn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't even close.
What an embarrassment!
Yeah, what an embarrassment's right.
It's what an embarrassment. I trying to figure out where to put the Giants 1, 2, or 3 on my biggest losers of the week, which I'll give you, by the way, at 8:30 this morning. I'll give you my top 3 winners and top 3 losers. I do have honorable mention this week. All right, biggest impression. I'll give you mine right off the top, and it was the Cowboys. It was big. So 2 of them, 2 biggest impressions of the weekend in the NFL.
Well, defensively, the Cowboys are going to be a problem all year long.
Unbelievable. And
like the offense didn't even have to do anything.
Well, okay.
There's like, let's just get down. Tony Pollard will score a couple touchdowns, and Daniel Jones is going to mess this up. Now, the first play, it's on Saquon Barkley.
Yes.
But second interception,
well,
what are you doing? Then the weather was bad, and they dig themselves a hole, and oh my god.
Back up to how you get to there. Okay, they look good on their first drive. They go down, they get to the 1. Bad snap. Illegal procedure penalty. So instead of you're in, now you're kicking a field goal and it's block 6 the other way. And then it just fell on them. The Cowboys are good. I don't think anybody's questioning what they are defensively.
Well, that's like saying, all right, we got a flat tire, and then someone coming up and saying, you know what? Your car is actually totaled.
Okay.
So it kind of was the like Giants.
Yeah. So was this more about the Cowboys or the Giants? Because the Giants
they imploded on themselves.
Pathetic. And by the way, they just paid that guy $40 million a year. What are you running him out there in a 40-0 game in the fourth quarter to get his ass kicked?
Prove a point, I guess.
What point? To get 3 points? To what? And Collinsworth saying, well, maybe it's Daniel Jones and he's a leader and guys love that. Man, if I'm that bald hooded guy over there getting rained on, Brian Dable, I don't care what he's telling me. I'm not throwing my $40 million guy out there behind that line in front of those dogs to get eaten up.
Cowboys were lighting them up till the final whistle every play.
I just tell me why you would run him out there.
I don't know who was trying to prove a point. Was it Brian Dable, whether it was Daniel Jones? Like at that point,
what's your point?
Daniel, finish it out. You're a leader. Finish it out. At that point, just put your jacket on, find an umbrella, and watch the rest of the game. It's Tyrod Taylor time.
And figure out what it is you're going to tell the media. Because they're going to eat your lunch. I just beat the living stuffing out of you. Cowboy fan, let's go. I mean, light me up. 505-246-0610. That was some show, man. It was some show. And I don't know how good their offense is, okay? because I think the Giants were just defeated. But Dak Prescott was nice, efficient, 13 for 24, 143 yards. Tony Pollard ran the ball and scored twice. And they did whatever they wanted to do, but they didn't have to do anything. I mean, if I'd have told you they would have only had 265 yards of offense, you'd have said, wait, what's the problem? Oh, but they scored 40 freaking points. Block 6, pick 6. What are we doing? So that was good. The other team that is regional happens to be the favorite of my two partners, the Denver Broncos. They opened it up with an onside kick, and you guys jumped out of your chairs, didn't you? Yeah! Didn't you? Sean Payton's here. It's different. We got an onside. Oh, and that was how you call that offsides or that illegal touch with the blind eye. When they slowed it down frame by frame, and I still couldn't tell if it was, I still don't know if it was the right call. How you feel about your Broncos? Your boy Russ.
I feel the exact same way.
Exactly.
That's what I was
The
thinking
exact
too.
same way.
Exactly right.
Like, miss me with any of this stuff. Like, they look better.
Please.
Russell Wilson efficient. Dude averaged a whopping 6 yards per pass.
That's right.
The offense, when they got into the red zone, fourth quarter, had to score to put the game away. They were stopped, settled for a field goal, and then all Jimmy Garoppolo did was drive the Raiders down the field for a game-winning touchdown.
One time, you lose to Jim Garoppolo again like that.
And you could see it coming too. It was, as soon as it happened, as soon as it started, it was just so obvious that that's how it was going to end.
1 point game, worst game of the weekend. It was 1 point game, worst game. That other 17-16 game was bad too. The Falcons and who'd they beat?
Oh no, that was Saints-Titans.
Yeah, that's what it was. Saints-Titans. At one point I sent a text out to some people like, who's worse, Garoppolo or Russ?
There's just no explosiveness, none, in that offense.
When I looked at Russ, I thought that's a great looking backup. He'd be a wonderful backup, but oh my goodness,
He's pretty expensive.
It's becoming check down Charlie.
He is.
He really is. It's Teddy Bridgewater 2.0.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Third read Russ. Yeah.
And then when they lost Dulcich, then that was gone too. So he just looked lost by the end.
That game was a rough watch. I'm not gonna lie. Like those two teams. And by the way, go ahead and you can say this with me. The first place Raiders. No, you can't because everybody else in that division's 0-1.
Yes, that's true.
The first place Raiders. Raider fan. Come on, say it with us this morning. The first place Las Vegas Raiders. That's right.
When's the last time you said that?
It's been a minute.
Hot minute on that.
In first place by themselves because Kansas City got beat on Thursday. Oh, and then the Chargers are. Tell me who the Chargers are.
They're the Chargers.
That's right. How Charger was that? And by the way, they've moved the ball up and down the field all day. Your boy Justin Herbert just got paid. Jason Sanders, the Lobo alum, misses the extra point, opens the door wide open for Justin Herbert to walk down the field and get all he needs is a field goal. They put up 1,000 yards. I'm kidding, but it felt like 1,000 yards in offense. And all of a sudden, Vic Fangio dials up some blitzes. The defensive coordinator, the former Bronco coach, wasn't good enough. Justin Herbert finds himself on his back. They can't get out of their own side. And the Dolphins go across the country. And I mean, to me, biggest game. Now, what was the game you asked last week? What game are you most looking forward to? What was going to be the best game?
Yeah,
What'd I tell you?
You said Chargers.
That's the biggest statement win of the weekend.
Man, Tyreek was flying down.
Now
he seems like impossible to stop.
The Cowboys win was emphatic. The Niners win was emphatic. By the way, those two teams look just unbelievable. Okay, emphatic. But the biggest statement win, those guys going over there and winning on the road and coming from behind.
Well, not if it's the Chargers.
But everybody tells me how good the Chargers are. The Chargers are now it's going to be different. Now they learned from last year. Now it's going to be different.
Well, you have a head coach that's supposed to be a defensive guy, and in the biggest moments, the Chargers couldn't play defense. And J.C. Jackson was a bonehead. He lost that game for the Chargers. You gave up the pass interference, which gave Miami the field goal before the half. He intercepted a pass in the end zone, which he decided to take out of the end zone like a dope and get pushed out at the 5-yard line. And that was the play that the third down sack where Justin Herbert barely stays out of the end zone. They punt the football short field, and it's a touchdown out of that.
Yeah, I forgot about the one before
ridiculous plays by J.C. Jackson to do 2 years ago. They paid a lot of money to.
Yeah, I forgot about because the Chargers scored with about 20-something seconds left? And it was that pass interference, blatant, nowhere, right in the middle of center field that set him up for a Jason Sanders field goal. I guess that 3 points was pretty big, huh?
And he got burned every other play by Tyreek Hill, who I do not know how you cover this man right now.
Okay, so Tyreek Hill's really good, but let me tell you something. Some of the buckets, and you know I've not been on the Tua train. I'm starting to get on the Tua train, man. And my biggest issue with Tua is not that he can't throw a good ball, not that he's not mobile, not that I can stay healthy, okay? That was the best quarterback performance of the week so far.
He connected on 8 of 14 throws that went 15 or more yards downfield.
And the windows in which he dropped the ball, including the winner. The winner was I've watched it 15 times from every angle they've offered. And I don't understand how it dropped in there.
Yeah, how did he do that? That was such a crazy throw.
It was insane. All right, here's what we're doing today. 505-246-0610. It is Overreaction Monday. Dum dum dum. Overreaction Monday. Get in and overreact on your team. Bears fan. Oh, did you miss on that one for week 1? Bears fan. Let's hear from you. Browns fan. How you feeling? Cheeseheads. You might have a quarterback. Viking fan. How you feeling a little bit? Let's go. We're going to talk with Danny Gonzalez coming up at 8 o'clock. Big win on a big night out at University Stadium on Saturday. Past sets up the big rivalry weekend coming up in 5 days from now. Lobos and Aggies, we're going to get into that. Danny Gonzalez is going to be with us coming off his first win of the season. That'll be at 8 o'clock this morning. When we come back, it's a whole lot of love. Starting to believe? In Green Bay. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The sports animal, your home for Monday night, Sunday night. That's one of those nights is tonight. And Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Ozera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all.
How you feeling about Jordan Love? There's no way they hit 3 in a row, right? Of all the stats I saw, and I already knew it, but I saw some crazy stuff this weekend. Like, for instance, Texas gave Alabama their first double-digit home loss since Nick Saban's been the coach there. Wow. What a statement by Texas, right? And then I saw Anthony Richardson was the 7th starting quarterback for the Indianapolis Colts in the last 7 seasons. Side by side with a stat that said Jordan Love is the 3rd starting quarterback for the Packers in the last 30 years on opening day. Which franchise has won more? Well, I guess they both won 1. The Packers won 2. But right, it's kind of crazy. Good on you for Jordan Love, man. He looked without Christian Washington, who was supposed to be his best receiver. All I heard was Romeo Doubs had a bad hamstring, was going to be on a pitch count. They went out there and they beat a Bears team 38-20 and looked pretty dominant doing it. 5 targets for Doubs, 4 catches, 2 touchdowns. Jordan Love's numbers: 15 for 27, 245 yards, 3 touchdowns. I would argue one of the top quarterback performances of the weekend.
It was really good. The game plan was fantastic. You know there's going to be games where you need to do more, and that's fine. It's execute what's in front of you, and this was a relatively easy game for the Green Bay Packers. And here's the thing. It's the Packers defense is better than the Bears defense, but Justin Fields looked like the guy that hadn't played. Justin Fields
crazy, right?
Looked like a rookie quarterback. It was Jordan Love that was executing a great game plan from head coach Matt LaFleur. The screen passes, Luke Musgrave wide open on busted plays, fumble on the ground, and he's executing those plays. Those 2 thumbs up for Jordan Love, because this is a team that bought into him, that believed in who he was and what he was going to do. And with that defense and the playmakers that they're developing, because Aaron Jones, I think a lot of people forgot how good he was.
Aaron Jones was terrific.
And his hamstring injury did not seem like it was anything major. He was in good spirits on the sideline. This is a Green Bay team that you're looking at going, yeah, they're going to compete all season long.
All right, tell me who the best team in the North is. Do you like the Lions? Do you like them right now? Vikings looked... We'll get to the Vikings.
Pedestrian.
All right. And then the Bears. 1 week, overreact. Who's the best team in the North? NFC North.
Lions.
All right. Fair enough. When I sent out that text that I told you, I said, who's worse, Jim Garoppolo or Russ? The response was, or Fields. Your guy did not look good yesterday.
Yeah, tough start. Tough start for the Bears. I was definitely looking at the Packers like, was I wrong about this whole time? They're really good. The Lions had a bigger win against the Chiefs, but Packers are going to make some noise in the North for sure. They're going to make it really tough for the Lions.
Good thing I invested in DJ Moore, too. Huh?
Yeah, they did not look like any steps forward for Justin Fields in that Chicago passing game at all. And then you didn't see him able to use his athleticism. That's a credit to a Green Bay team that, as much as Aaron Rodgers complained about not having weapons, they invested first and second round picks in the right areas. And they have a lot of first and second year defenders that made a huge impact yesterday.
All right, and we're going to go to the phones here in a second. So if you're there and jump in at 505-246-0610, another gigantic impact game. Cleveland beating Cincinnati and the way they beat them. And I'm not sold. They didn't beat him because of Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson was fine at 16 for 29, 154, a touchdown, and an interception. They did it with defense. And I think you forget how good their defensive front was. Joe Burrow was bad. 82 yards, 14 for 31. It was 45% completion. They couldn't get Joe Mixon going. It was bad weather. They couldn't get the ball to Jamar Chase. They targeted him 9 times. Joe Burrow, after losing 24-3 to the Cleveland Browns.
It's 1 week, obviously not up to our standard, not up to my standard, but we got 16 more of them, so we're just going to keep trucking.
And I think that's the key, right? It's 1 week.
I like the quote better that he says, "Nobody is panicking in here, guys. Week 1 doesn't define anybody's season."
It does.
Like, I just want to play that as the intro for like every segment today, because it is the complete opposite of how everyone is feeling about their football.
All right, so play that coming back in every segment, except for
week 1, guys.
Except for 8 o'clock, because it'll be week 2 there. But play that coming back after into every segment, because it is 1 week. But it was a big week for the Browns. And it's interesting when I do. I'm going to give you my 3 biggest winners and my 3 biggest losers of the weekend. And I didn't put the Bengals in there because I still feel confident about them, right? And I got a quarterback who was hurt during camp and didn't play a lot. And you're right, we heard that a lot. But I still believe that they're going to be okay. I thought this was bigger for the Browns than it was for the Bengals.
I'm right there with you. It's a game where I'm not worried about Cincinnati because this is what happens to this team. It's the same thing happened to Cincinnati last year. Got off to a slow start. They're still going to be one of the best teams in the AFC because Joe Burrow is that dude. Cleveland not just had to win the game, but you had to see something. Deshaun Watson didn't look broken. He wasn't great, but he didn't throw for 82 yards like Joe Burrow did. You saw what makes you think Cleveland can be really good if Deshaun Watson is good. And it's a defense that shut down an offense with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, a big old goose egg up there. That's what gets you excited about. All right, we as Cleveland fans are going to have a chance to compete if they play defense like that.
All right, let's go to you, 505-246-0610. That's the Sports Animals phone line and the Sports Animals text line. Hoser, how about the Cowboys?
I love it. I'm here for it, fellas. Overreaction. I'm going to overreact.
Go.
40-0 opening game. You know, in the texted words of Will Kane. Oh my Lord, we good, man. We good. We going all the way. I love it.
Will Kane.
And I know, 1 week does not define your season, but no, this is sure fun. I mean, this is the way to start the season. It's amazing. All the weird lopsided things like the Browns taking care of Cincinnati. Yes, Joe Burrow. One week does not define your season, but like the great Marty said, it's a week-to-week league, and this week it looked bad for you, and it looked good for the Cowboys. So I'm all about it, fellas.
Enjoy it, buddy. See ya. Good to see Hoser out at the Lobo game the other day, 56-10. His team won there, and then his Cowboys. Can we touch on one other kind of big win spread? How about the Rams going to Seattle? How about Matthew Stafford looking like a quarterback? How about it look like he had a receiver? Tell me, all your buddies, every draft you've had. Do you know anybody who drafted Puka Nacua in their fantasy draft?
I know someone that was all about him, but didn't trust him when it mattered.
I drafted him. I didn't play him. All right, so do you give me a little credit for drafting and believing in Puka Nacua?
That is the
Have I been telling you about that?
You called it. You definitely called that one.
Now, first of all, 15 targets is insanity. They got their receivers are named.
When are you going to start trusting yourself?
And stop looking at the damn charts. Okay, their receiving core sounds like a damn Saturday morning cartoon. Puka and Tutu, right? It does. Tutu Atwell and Puka Nacua. Like the Tutu and Puka show? Doesn't it sound like Ren and Stimpy kind of a Saturday morning cartoon?
Absolutely.
But Tutu and Puka, or Puka and Tutu, or whatever you want to say, those two dudes had 16 catches for 238 yards. Puka and Tutu.
The Puka and Tutu show.
Doesn't it sound like a Saturday morning cartoon, though?
It does, but it's going to keep going. So it's going to be the Sunday night show pretty soon.
I'll tell you what. And by the way, here's the other thing I didn't do. Like I'm just telling you, honorary mention for losers is me in fantasy football because I'm an idiot. So I had an injury spot right before I went on the waiver wires. I picked up Kyron Williams, but did I play him?
No one played him yesterday. RB2 for the Los Angeles Rams. Seattle, that's a big old L.
Okay.
That's a big old L.
What the hell happened?
Big old L.
Gino looked less than pedestrian. Gino looked like you. So if this was opening day last year, you said, yeah, that's what they got. Right? That's it. That's what Seattle is. This is 365 days later. They're supposed to be a contender. I was thinking they might be the third best team in the NFC. Not even a freaking chance after what I saw yesterday, Overreaction Monday. But that was the Gino that we were supposed to be looking at a year ago. He missed receivers. He looked bothered, and Aaron Rodgers reintroduced himself to the world again a little bit. More about the Rams, more about the Seahawks yesterday.
That's more about the Seahawks. Like, the Rams played really good. That's the Matthew Stafford I expect.
He looked nice.
Like, that's the dude where if he's on the field, you're not a 5-win football team. He got hurt. Things fell apart on them. But to still throw for 334 yards without Cooper Kupp, that was a great performance for Matthew Stafford. Because Seattle is going to talk about losing both their tackles in the third quarter. And then the offense being able to do nothing.
But they were already down, right, in the third quarter.
To me, it's not. It's the fact that your defense, which everyone said was ready to take a step forward. It's young. You got Rick Woolen. Got all these guys over there. Couldn't stop a nosebleed.
Something else. Look, all I know is the Rams look good offensively. And I'm concerned about Seattle. 505-246-0610. I got a text that says on the Cowboys game, it was the New York Giants against a young rookie team making stupid mistakes. Well, that would be the Giants, right? And giving up 14 points in the first 5 minutes of the game. Actually, 13 because they missed the extra point. Let's see how the Cowgirls do against the big boys. I don't know. Weren't they supposed to be a big boy team in this? A team that went to the playoffs, that won a playoff game on the road last year. The Giants just signed their quarterback for $40 million and thought they were pretty damn good. I mean, that's who they
40-0 in the NFL. That ain't no FCS team on the other side.
40-0 felt like a bye game. I was sitting there last night and said it felt like watching a group of 5, low. I mean, even a lower in the standings group of 5 team go to Alabama, go to Texas, go to A&M. So what if the Cowboys toyed with them so badly last night? Like, Giant fan, you're probably not going to work today, right? You probably can't get out of bed. You drank so much. Can you drink enough to watch that crap? Something else. Danny Gonzalez is going to be with us at 8 o'clock this morning. Lobos got their first win of the season, a big 56-10 win over Tennessee Tech. When we come back, what does it mean? You guys were both there. I want to get into a little college football as we head into the big weekend. You're open if you want to get into the NFL. It's there for you as well. 505-246-0610. But what the win means and where maybe tap the brakes after beating Tennessee Tech with the Aggies coming in. That's next here on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal, your home for Monday night, Sunday night, and Thursday night football. How's your vehicle looking? After another weekend of running around, yeah, I know, and the weather's going to start to cool, and you're going to be doing a bunch of stuff. Get your vehicle ready for the busiest time of year. It's one of your biggest investments, right? Call On the Spot Automotive Detailing and have them come out and take care of it. You don't have time, and even if you have the time, by the way, I don't think you could do it as good as they can. Nobody can. They detail your vehicle inside, outside, around the rims, under the hood, under the seats. What they do is make your vehicle look, feel, smell brand new. Remember the day you took it off the lot? How fun it was to be in it? That's what On the Spot does. Oh, and by the way, they come to you. They do it where it's convenient for you, when it's convenient for you. There's no, I got to take it over there and drop it off. None of that. I don't know where they are. They know where I am. That is the beauty of this. Great gift if you're looking for a gift too, because everyone will love this. On the Spot Automotive Detailing also offers a 10% discount to military and teachers. Learn more schedule online at otsdetailing.com. That's otsdetailing.com.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
Hi, I'm Michael Ezera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
I mean, go through it. Pittsburgh, Chicago, New England. He had a chance to go down and win a game, a game that would have been an unbelievable statement game. Tennessee, you got a problem.
But it's your boy Tannehill.
Yeah, I'm off that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm off that now. That's over. That's over.
We're done.
Yeah, Pickett. And then the rookies. Which rookie did you feel the best about?
Anthony Richardson.
Did you?
I did.
I thought there were times that he let his athleticism when he scored his touchdown, he looked good. I question his decision making a little bit.
The interception at the end was bad.
Yeah.
He's definitely got room to grow, but of the rookies, I was most impressed with him.
Somebody told me the other day, Deion's not only overtaking college football, he's the biggest story in sports. Do you believe that? Sports, period. Bigger than Coco Gauff, bigger than the NFL, bigger than anything. You buy that?
He is the only guy that can cut into NFL right now.
All right. Did you watch that stuff the other day?
It's must-watch television.
It's game day and big noon. So they're going to have Fox and ESPN's pregame, and they usually stay away. They usually carry games that they've got. But ESPN can't stay away from this story anymore. They're going out for the Colorado State game. It is insane. They put it on Nebraska. Look, I don't think Nebraska's that good, but I think Nebraska's okay, especially defensively.
But we spent the entire week listening to people tell you to cool your jets on Colorado. And this is going to be the tough game, and this is the sucker bet, be all in on Nebraska. And all Colorado did was show you what good teams do, and it's just to the moment. That first half was ugly. Like, it was back and forth. It wasn't just CU slinging around doing whatever they wanted, and they had to grind. And then they took over that game in the second half. This Colorado team, I'm excited to watch them against the top of the Pac-12 this season because I am buying what Deion is selling.
They play Oregon and SC here in the next few weeks. And it's going to be so exciting. That better not be Pac-12 network stuff. But it's and hopefully I can watch it on my regular TV. Shedeur Sanders, Deion's kid, 31 of 42 for 393 and 2 touchdowns. Oh, by the way, he can also do it on the ground, although he ran for negative yards. Is he a pro quarterback? He sure looks confident. He sure looks good. I watched him 2 games. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I watched a bunch of them at Jackson State. I'm not going to pretend. By the way, Jeff Sims, the quarterback at Nebraska, did a pretty good job of handing that thing away in the first half. Mm-hmm. I mean, you want to talk about a turnover machine. Matt Rule's got to figure something out there. What Deion's doing there is astonishing. Texas beats Alabama. That was a big story, 34-24. And then you guys were both at the Lobo game, and it was a big victory. It was 56-10. And I want to get into it a little bit because my broadcast partner, George Carter, and George will be with us on Friday, was pretty fired up, as he should be. He's a former Lobo, and I think Lobo fan, you should feel better about it. Tennessee Tech was an FCS team and not a really good one. And the Lobos did what, JJ, you and I said they kind of needed to do last week. They needed to beat that team handily, right? This couldn't have really been a 24-14 win. You'd have felt differently. I don't want to get over my skis. I'm not going to overreact and tell you how great they are. I'm going to tell you they needed that. I talked to the coaches on Friday on the pre-broadcast meeting, and one of the things that came out of it, they needed a win to validate everything. The sweat. It had almost been a calendar year since they won. It was a 10-game losing streak, and the yelling at and the camp and the sweat and everybody telling them they think they're better. They needed to validate everything with that kind of a win. And now, okay, let's get started. Here come the Aggies. So it was a good win. I'm not going to jump overboard and say, oh my goodness, I saw progress at every position. I saw promise. Now let's see what happens this week.
It only matters if they're competitive the next 2 weeks. You had to go out there and blow this team out of the water. I said 24 or more. Like, at least. It had to be 24 or more. Yeah. And it was plenty more than that for the Lobos. Because I was blown away. Because there were some sports books that had the line on the game. And it was only 17. And I was like, are you kidding me? Like, that's the number for the Lobos to start this game.
You should have taken that, man.
And they blew them out the built, but they had to do that.
Yeah.
Like, that's one of those games. It doesn't matter the real question, how good you are the rest of the way. You start there. And now the real work, because the next 2 weeks are going to decide if anyone cares about Lobo football the rest of the year. Because they could go out there and win some games in Mountain West play. But if you lose to New Mexico State and at UMass, you're not getting these fans back.
Not a great week for the Mountain West. San Diego State got run by UCLA. Nevada lost at home to Idaho State. To Idaho. Utah State put up 1 million points in their FCS game. There's some games that are gettable out there, right? But you got to start with next week against the Aggies. Aggies got beat on the road. They did not score in the second half, turned the ball over. Liberty beat New Mexico State 33-17. So the Aggies are going to come in 1-2. Lobos are 1-1. One team's coming off a loss on the road. The other one's coming off a big beating at home where they beat back Tennessee Tech. Of course, the Aggies have the momentum of last year where they won that game. Defensively is where – so I'm going to tell you, the first drive, I was like, whoa. Tennessee Tech kind of marched down the field, and you're like, what's going on here, right? I thought they were aided by penalties. That's one thing I want to talk to Danny about at 8 o'clock. Danny Gonzalez will be with us. The offsides penalties. There were at least 5 of them. That was one of those where you scratch your head. But I thought they flew to the ball. They're gonna. It's gonna be they're gonna be shorthanded because of an unsportsmanlike. So they're gonna be. Christian Ellis is gonna miss the first half of a target, and not a sportsmanlike, a targeting. But JT, they got a quarterback who looks like he's confident back there. He puts the ball where it needs to be, and for crying out loud, number 5 is real. Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt is legit. Put the ball in Bill's belly and watch him run.
If this offense can be further ahead than we anticipated it to be, that's going to give this Lobo football team a chance to be competitive because the learning curve is still there for that secondary and that defense. They say they're athletic. They like the athleticism. The next couple weeks against like opponents, if that offense can continue to build off of having a quarterback that what's so important about Dylan Hopkins is coming over with Bryant Benson. It's his experience in this offense. And that is something that you have seen from camp is his demeanor. He is another coach on the field because he's not learning the system.
Yeah, no,
he's also out there teaching it to all the guys. And you just see the control. He knows where that football has to go.
Bill, Offensive Mountain West Player of the Week. 12 carries, 162 yards, 3 touchdowns. Busted 2 big ones.
There's actually some, even Boise State, ended up being 0-2, but Ashton Genty is a problem. He is really good. But if you're going to give the edge to guy a W, he's going to get nominated.
Boise State got clipped on a last-second field goal at home. They were 0-2. UCF went up there and beat them. All right, when we come back, Sam Howell won in his opener. Baker Mayfield won in his opener. I want to talk about some of the NFL big quarterback stories coming out of yesterday, because there's one or two coming out of every game. And the biggest one is next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
This report is sponsored by
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, one scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
For your surprisingly great rates,
Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Download the KNML app in the Google Play or iTunes App Store. Just search KNML.
Yeah, nobody's panicking in here, guys. It's week one doesn't define anybody's season. Obviously, not very good out there, but anybody that watched saw that. But we've been in this spot before. We've come back stronger and had great years. So that's what we're going to do.
Thank you for the reminder on Overreaction Monday, Joe Burrow. All right, so we got quarterback questions we thought would get answered. Look, the rookies aren't getting pulled. The rookies are going to go. We'll talk about the rookies a little bit later. Justin Fields did not make the progress I think you wanted him to make. I think you're concerned there. Sam Howell might have been better than you thought. Baker Mayfield might have been better than you thought. He won. Kenny Pickett not as good as you thought. Desmond Ridder won. They beat a bad team, but they won. Geno, is there a question there? I'm going to ask.
Sam Howell was not better than I thought.
Okay, they won. That's fine. That's fair. Sam Howell wasn't better than I thought.
It was 20-16
no, fair enough.
against a team that we thought was going to be the worst team in football, which it still could be.
And damn, you win the game. All right, I'm going to tell you who I think after week one of Overreaction is going to be the first quarterback benched. Non-injury benching. And it's Ryan Tannehill for Will Levis. Who do you guys think it's going to be? You had something different. Obviously, I saw your face because you thought I was going somewhere else.
I did. It's the countdown to Jared Stidham.
So you think it's going to be Russ?
Absolutely.
Who do you think it's your leading candidate to be first quarterback bench non-injury reasons?
Ryan Tannehill. And I typed it out last night when I was going through all my game notes. I'm like, if Will Levis or Malik Willis cannot earn a shot for this Titans team, that's a disaster. Those guys cannot beat out Ryan Tannehill at this point in time. I get it. He's a veteran. There's no explosiveness. You added DeAndre Hopkins, second-year wide receiver Treylon Burks. He had nothing in the passing game. And if guys that they invested second, third-round picks in can't earn a shot, then I'm starting to look at Mike Vrabel, too, and go, what are you doing with this team?
Oh, by the way, Derek Carr wasn't great either. 305 yards touchdown, but that offense stalled in places. They're going to really benefit when they get Kamara back, okay? But Tannehill had no touchdowns, 3 interceptions. He looked at Treylon Burks 4 times.
That's his 8th career game with 3 or more interceptions.
Yeah, no, look, I'm off of it. I get it. And I'm going to tell you, Tannehill was very good for that franchise. He filled not just a gap. I mean, he filled a chasm. He filled a multi-year gap. 5, 6, 7, however long he got him to, 2 AFC championship games?
No,
right? 1?
They did not.
Just 1? Yeah. Okay. He was good for them. It's time. What I watched yesterday, there's no, give me the word for, I know it's not dynamicism. What, to be dynamic, there's no dynamicism. What would the word be? There's nothing dynamic there. There's no explosiveness. And you, to your point, you went out and signed DeAndre Hopkins. You threw at him 13 times. I mean, you tried to get him the ball all day. He was frustrated. You could see it. They got a couple of weapons there. Derrick Henry should still be good. D-Hop's good. Treylon Burks should be good. Westbrook-Ikini looked good at times. When they got him the ball, and they were leaning on him late. I think he's the first one. So you think it's Russ, huh?
You make a very, very good argument for Tannehill. So it very well may be Tannehill, but Russ looks lost. And like I said earlier, he looks like a backup. So I just don't see how this is sustainable.
Russell Wilson let's bench first. How about leaving 4 points off the board? The kicker, Sean Payton. You good old Sean Payton knows he's bringing in his kicker, bringing in the Saints,
bringing in his guy. Oh, how much did you lose by?
1. That kicker would have been nice right there.
Didn't need Brady McManus. Yeah.
Nope. Yeah, Will Lutz.
Lobos won by 46. It is rivalry week in Nuevo Mexico. Rivalry of enchantment, as I like to call it. Lobos and Aggies. Aggies and Lobos. It'll be at University Stadium, and it's Saturday. Aggies coming off a loss at Liberty 33-17. Lobos coming off a big win over Tennessee Tech. We will talk with Danny Gonzalez, the head football coach at University of New Mexico, next. I know he's excited about this. Why? And what does he think about beating Tennessee Tech? What does it mean? What does it not mean? That's next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal, your home for Monday night and Sunday night and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
JJ Bach.
Fun night at University Stadium last Saturday. Should be a whole lot of fun this coming Saturday. Lobos beat Tennessee Tech 56-10. End the 10-game losing streak, get their first win of the season in dominating fashion. And next up, the Aggies come in. It is the rivalry of enchantment, New Mexico State and New Mexico, 6 o'clock Saturday night out at University Stadium. The conversation with Danny Gonzalez, sponsored by the law offices of Rudy Chavez. Where do you turn when you need legal help? Rudy's experienced and really cares. Call Rudy at 505-242-5500 today. Make your legal problems go away. He is the head football coach at the University of New Mexico. Danny Gonzalez joins us this morning on The Sports Animal. Congratulations, Danny. How you living?
Living great. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you having me on. I appreciate Rudy sponsoring this segment and all you guys do. How are you guys doing this morning?
Things are good. Good night for you guys. You said afterwards, usually we let them sit on it and enjoy it for 24 hours. You said, not this time. We got a big one next week. What did you see when you looked at the tape? A lot of good stuff, but as coaches, I know you probably looked at the offsides penalties and a few things. You always find something, right?
No, absolutely. I mean, you strive to play perfect, and that's never going to happen. But you practice until you can't get it wrong. So we've got some things to clean up. I mean, the very first drive on defense, we give them 4 first downs on penalties. I'm usually pretty calm and composed on the sideline, but after that first series on defense where they went down and scored, I lit them up pretty good because they were playing uptight. They were more uptight starting that game than they were against A&M, which I had no idea why. After that, they settled down and played okay. Offensively, I thought Dylan was really, really like a laser precision. I mean, he threw the ball really well, and then Bill was as advertised. So those guys up front did a good job. But, I mean, we've got some guys that can do some things, and it's fun to watch them play.
Danny, got playmakers. And my apologies to Caden Pope and to his family on the TV broadcast. I swear, still in my head, I still swear I saw 16 coming around that edge instead of 18, and I called the touchdown for Ryan Davis, and I didn't realize it until he got into the end zone. But Caden Pope goes for 46 yards. Bill was terrific. You got guys who could take the top off. It is different. Now, I understand who you played, and I understand it was Tennessee Tech, and then the competition is going to get a whole lot better, but you got playmakers. And I was talking to Brian Vincent on Friday about this. Danny, I think more than anything, and you'll know this because you looked in their eyes, I think they just needed a win to validate everything that was going on, all the coaching, all the camp, everything that telling them that they're better. They needed a win like that to validate everything.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's proof in the pudding when you do stuff. You tell them how things are going to go, and if you do things right, these are the things that are going to happen. But it's all talk until it actually happens. And I thought after the first, I thought the offense on the first drive was outstanding. I mean, you go down there in 14 plays and you score, and then defense has a third down opportunity on the very first play. We have a corner that's not very aggressive on the run where we should stone that play, and then we jump off sides and give them first downs to continue those drives. I mean, after that, I thought they settled down, and then the second half, I mean, that was our biggest problem last year. Other than we couldn't score, obviously. But we'd come out in the third quarter and just be awful. And I thought we came out in the third quarter and really did some really good things, and we've stressed that all offseason about breaking up practice and breaking up workouts into segments of first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, and putting a big instance on the second half, and I thought they responded very well to that. So the outcome will help, definitely. I agree. We can't overreact. I mean, we're supposed to beat Tennessee Tech. We're better than they are, and we came out and did it. Now, for the next the rest of our schedule, everybody has like competition. I mean, we're as good as everybody that we play. If we get ready, we'll have a chance, and we can play competitive football and have a chance to win games.
To his point on the second half stuff, Lobos scored 21 points in the third quarter on Saturday. All last season combined, they scored 19 points in the third quarter in all 12 games. He's Danny Gonzalez, Lobo football coach, with us on The Sports Animal.
Danny, how do you take the confidence as a player and then move forward with it? And specifically, some of the wide receivers that needed to show some. Luke Weissong had a good game. Deuce Jones, a big reception. Caleb Medford, a big reception. guys that have been grinding, how do they take this performance, put it towards practice to get better moving forward?
I think it's exactly the validation that they saw Saturday. I mean, all the hard work, all the things they've been doing. We've been talking about Deuce Jones having the ability to take the top off, and Caleb Medford and those guys, and they actually did it. The run by Caden Pope, he's the Mississippi State transfer. I mean, he shows he's got some speed. So we have some guys that people are going to have trouble running with, but they had to actually do it and get off press coverage, get off man coverage, run by somebody, and then have a quarterback to put the ball on the money. So now that they've actually got some pay dirt off of it, I mean, hopefully they'll work a little bit harder in practice. I mean, that was the big emphasis last night, was the game that we're getting ready to play this Saturday. I mean, it's going to be an unbelievable atmosphere in there. I thought Saturday's atmosphere with the lights and the new things that they've got going on, I thought was great. It's going to be double that this Saturday. The only way you can prepare for that is to get yourself ready to play in practice, because Coach Gill's doing a great job down there. They're better than they were last year, and they beat us last year. So our kids know the challenge that's ahead, and we're excited to take the opportunity.
Now, Danny, you talk about the coaching and what you've seen out of New Mexico State. What are the differences in the Aggies? What do you notice when you say, hey, this is a good coached football team? What stands out to you when you're watching the film?
Well, they've done a great job recruiting. They've got better players than they had 3 years ago. I mean, last year, obviously, he increased it, and then they did a really good job in this offseason. I think very similar to what we did with our roster. I mean, you've got a lot of new faces. They're young, very much like, I mean, we got a bunch of kids coming back, so do they. But they play hard. I mean, on defense, Nate Riley's doing a great job with everything that they do up front. They get after it pretty good. They do some pretty exotic things on third down. And then offensively, I mean, obviously, Diego Pavia, I think he's a great competitor. I think he's a really good quarterback. I mean, he's one of those guys. He's a tough guy. He's a Volcano Vista kid from here in Albuquerque. He has a lot to prove because we didn't offer him a scholarship out of high school or junior college. So he'll come in here. He didn't get the opportunity to play us last year in that game. So he'll be ready to go. And then they've got a package with Eli Stowers. I mean, obviously, they've done a great job in recruiting to put athletes on the field. Amonte Watkins is as fast as they come in the backfield. So they present a challenge. And I mean, if you want to be a good coach, you get good players. And Coach Gill understands that. And then you got to make them do the fundamental things right. And they're doing that too.
Lobo football coach Danny Gonzalez is with us. Lobos and Aggies on Saturday out at University Stadium. I think everybody knows what this game, this week, this matchup, this rivalry means to you. You got 40-something new guys from everywhere on the map, and you got to explain to them what it means. It's a football game, but it's a whole lot more. And I always ask, and I know I ask this, and it'll probably be the thing every year with the transfer portal, right? How do you explain to these guys who they know what Texas and Oklahoma means and Auburn, Alabama means? How do you teach them what this game means before you get there?
Well, it's very passionate to me because I grew up here, and everybody knows how I feel about this rivalry. And our team has been hearing it, especially for the 365 days since last year. I mean, I've got some of our guys that played in that game last year that were there for the first time, understand what the intensity of it is, and they've been sharing that. And then all the new guys that we have, they've been the greatest thing. I mean, you could hear Ja'Cory Merritt in his post-game press conference, Jeremiah Hickson, Tito Stafford, those guys, they have embraced and love not only the university, but the city of Albuquerque, the community. So, I mean, it's fast-tracking those guys, and that stuff has spread like wildfire amongst our team. And then we have a lot of guys like George Carter and Dontrell Moore and guys that played here that come and talk to our team quite often, and they'll get an opportunity to talk to them this week to explain how important that is. So they know, and they'll get the idea when they see that stadium full on Saturday, and they bring a bunch of fans from there. There's a bunch of Aggies that live here in Albuquerque, so it'll be a great environment for both teams.
George Carter, the former linebacker, who's my broadcast partner on the TV side, he was so fired up already, right? Like just every time we brought it up on the broadcast, this means so much to so many people. And just watching the former linebacker, and I know you know George really well, but a bunch of players, I saw Byron Bell come over afterwards. Everybody who's been part of it gets it. And I don't know, does it take playing it once to really appreciate it?
That helps significantly. But the amount of information that our guys that were on the team last year that have been a part of this for the last couple of years, they've shared it with those guys. I mean, I know Dylan is fired up, Jeremiah, Tito, Bill, those guys are so excited. And you know what, because of the passion, I mean, I think we have a bunch of good coaches, and our staff does a great job with the relationships that we have with our kids. I know how much they want to win this game for me as an alumni, for our coaching staff, and just for our football program in general.
Danny, Tavion Combs held him out with the ankle. Christian Ellis gets hit with that tough targeting penalty. in the second half, so he's going to be out in the first half. Adversity, adjustments, secondary, your thoughts heading into this week and what you've seen so far?
Well, I thought the three will safeties that we played on Saturday, Jamarius Lewis, Aaron Smith, and Noah Paul Gates played significantly better. Obviously, the competition wasn't the same that they faced the first week, but they made some plays in the secondary that helps with confidence big time. Tavian was ready to go. He wanted to go in when Christian got the targeting, but I thought David Murphy, the game was in a situation at a point where they weren't coming back to win, and David Murphy had earned his opportunity in practice, the Cleveland graduate, and I thought he did a really good job, which that experience will help us with depth. We'll miss Christian Ellis for the first half, but Tavian will be fine on Saturday. And like I said, the other three Wolf safeties did a really nice job, and they know what challenge they've got coming at them this weekend.
All right, a big weekend, not only for the rivalry, Buddy Walk, which benefits Down syndrome here in New Mexico, is going to be before the game. I saw there were 1,000 people registered to walk. I know it's near and dear to your heart. And then the Lobos are going to be wearing a sticker on their helmet. And you had told me, look, this rivalry is passionate, and everybody's got their interest, but there's also mutual respect. And you told me a story about Jerry Kill and the stickers. I want you to tell this story because you tell it better than I, but I think people are going to really appreciate what the rivalry and the respect means.
Well, the Rio Grande Down syndrome Buddy Walk is a big deal to me, obviously, because my 9-year-old has Down syndrome. Coach Kill comes up with a lot of the same people in this business as I. He was very close to Dennis Francione, so that was our connection. So I've known Coach Kill. And I gave him a call and told him that, we're having the Buddy Walk on this day, and we're going to wear stickers to represent that opportunity, and we'd love for his. And he's like, Coach, don't even have to ask. That absolutely, we're all in. And those kind of things, football is awesome, but those kind of things, the community support of all that, there's a lot of things that are bigger than football. So it's a great opportunity to represent and show that people with disabilities, they're more alike than different. And so, it was really, it was a good conversation. Now, I talked to Coach Kill numerous times throughout the year, and, he's, like I said, he's doing a great job there. Known him for a while. He's been a mentor, and from the people we come up with together, and he was very supportive and all in.
So you'll both be wearing that same sticker. I think that shows so much respect and humanity about that. And there's still time, I think, to register for the Buddy Walk for those who want to get involved too.
There is. It's from 3 to 6 before the game. There's going to be some tailgating that coincide with it. They're going to have cornhole and all kinds of events. The team with the biggest amount of representatives will be acknowledged during one of the timeouts. There's a lot of really cool things with it, and it's a great opportunity because of the game day it is. I'm excited about it.
Well, Danny, you had a chance to introduce your players to the rivalry a bit yesterday. You guys walked over from your facility to watch some of the soccer game with New Mexico taking out New Mexico State. How was that to kick off the week?
Well, first off, Heather's team did a great job with a 3-1 victory over that school. Our kids knew the game was going on. They come over for 1 o'clock at treatment. Some of them were watching the game early, and then our leadership said, Coach, we need to go over there and support those guys. And go over there and cheer them on. And so we came over. We watched the second half of the game. I thought our kids did a great job. They were into it. They were having fun. I think the girls enjoyed it, having a crowd. But I thought before we got there, the crowd was outstanding. It was a great afternoon to watch some soccer on the pitch, and I thought they did a great job. So it was exciting to get that started. We're, as an athletic department, all the sports support each other. I saw swimming and dive over there. I saw volleyball over there. So, there's a great chemistry going on over here. Give credit to Eddie and David for building that. But our kids like each other. The student-athletes with the 2 weight rooms in our football building get to spend a lot of time together. And I think they actually enjoy each other, which is awesome.
See you this week. It's going to be a big week. Looking forward to Saturday. I'll be on the call on the TV side with George Carter. For those of you who, for whatever reason, will be out of town and can't get there, but get yourself out there. The atmosphere should be fun. Lobos and Aggies, rivalry of enchantment on Saturday at University Stadium. Danny, always appreciate the conversation.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me on. And the one last thing, as you come to the stadium, obviously the atmosphere was better. Plan to get here a little bit earlier because there's going to be 35,000 to 40,000 people, so there's going to be some traffic and stuff, the flow getting into the stadium. Look at some of the new banners. Another big deal that we're doing this Saturday is Terrence Mathis, one of the greatest players to ever don a University of New Mexico Lobo football uniform, is getting inducted to the College Football Hall of Fame in December. And so him and his family will be here. We're going to acknowledge them and celebrate Terrence. Well-deserved. Like I said, one of the greatest football players to ever play here. and there will be a great crowd to honor him and appreciate him. So there's all kinds of things between the Buddy Walk, Terrence Mathis, and then obviously the most important thing, the football game. So thank you guys for having me on always. Thanks for all you support you guys do. Go Lobos.
Danny Gonzalez, the head football coach at the University of New Mexico. The conversation was sponsored by the law offices of Rudy Chavez, personal and experienced care for your legal issues. Call Rudy at 505-242-5500 today. Make your legal problems go away. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The sports animal, your home for Monday night, Sunday night, and Thursday night football.
This report is sponsored by... We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number one. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Ojera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
Week one doesn't define anybody's season. Obviously, not very good out there, but anybody that watched saw that. But we've been in this spot before. We've come back stronger and had great years, so that's what we're going to do.
Thank you, Joe Burrow. Just to remind you, on Overreaction Monday, nobody's panicking here. We're fine. Bills and Jets tonight. No DeMar Hamlin. He's not expected to go tonight, but Aaron Rodgers is. Raj. You get him tonight here on the Sports Animal. You're home for Monday night and Thursday night and Sunday night and all your night football. Opening drive, Jeff, JJ, and DC. I don't know what you think the biggest stories are. I'm listening to you a lot today, and let's get in. Was it the Cowboys putting the league on notice? Was it the Niners coming out emphatically going across the country and just pumping the Steelers? Was it the Seahawks soiling themselves? Was it the Bengals doing what they did? Was it Minnesota losing at home to? I mean, there were two teams that we thought were the worst. Two of the three teams we thought were the worst in the NFL won, right? Two of them won on the road, the Buccaneers and the Rams. Beat playoff teams on the road, right? Two of the teams, and Arizona damn near won.
Very close.
Tampa Bay is more talented than a sneaky tank.
If they get decent quarterback play. How about Baker on that third down, lowering his shoulder and getting a third down and first down and keeping the damn football? 505-246-0610. Let's go. What do you say? Howie, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Howard.
Well, hello, Jeff, JJ, and DC. You know, I've got all my friends are already drinking the blue Kool-Aid, I tell you.
Why not?
I'm like trying to talk them, I'm making sure we don't have to grease up telephone poles in the neighborhood or anything like that because they're already talking some craziness. Now, while I did have a great weekend because my beloved Howard University Bison won by 46, my Lobos won by 46, and my Cowboys pulled off a 40-point victory. But having said that, look at the offense stat line for the Cowboys, guys.
Yeah.
Anemic.
Well, but they didn't have the ball. They didn't have to do anything. No.
Well, I don't know, but
Really?
I've still got a lot of concerns on offense. I didn't see a running game. I did not see CeeDee Lamb involved in the offense. Didn't see Michael Gallup involved much. I didn't, and I know
They won 40-0, Howard.
it was an anomaly, Jeff. I mean, come on. I am not buying this.
you.
I mean, like I said, I play fantasy football every year, so I'm not going to fantasize about a Super Bowl just yet, if you don't mind.
Nor should you. Nor should you, man. 1 week.
Nor should I.
I think-
because there's a lot of football left to be played. And to be quite honest with you, that New York Giant offense is not a measuring stick for the rest of the teams the Cowboys are going to see.
Fair
Stop
enough.
drinking the blue Kool-Aid. Let's play a few more games.
All right.
Later, guys.
See you. All right, so they won 40-0, but
It would have been a travesty if you don't just see out that game in the second half. If you're just like, hey, let's just start slinging around and slinging around. He attempted 24 passes on a night where you really didn't want to do much offensively because of look at what happened to the Giants and the way they were putting the football on the ground and throwing away the entire time. They didn't have to do anything offensively.
Lenny, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal. Hello, Lenny.
Morning. Well, it's a normal long weekend for me with the Chargers, but let's go with the team of the week, and I'm going to go with Brock Purdy and the 49ers. Coming off that surgery, which no one has ever had done that type, using an internal brace on a UCL, and coming back in 6 months was very impressive. And their defense looks phenomenal. So
Yes. Yeah,
they've
no
thrown
doubt.
the gauntlet down that they're ready to play. But now let's go to my lowly Chargers. Coming off the 27-point blown lead last season where they fired the offensive coordinator, not the defensive coordinator for that loss, and yesterday giving up 460-something yards to Tua, not doubling Tariq Hill in the fourth quarter to let him blow by you. I'm just putting Brandon Staley on the clock to be one of the first coaches, hopefully get fired.
It's amazing, and he's a defensive genius, isn't he? I mean, and by the way,
you gave up over 500 and something yards, and you know Tariq Hill is the fastest wide receiver in the league. You're winning by a scant 3 points, and you go ahead and not double him up with a nickelback.
It was 4 at that point.
Behind him in the fourth?
It was 4 at that point.
That late in the game?
Here's what kills me about them is all of a sudden they're moving the ball up and down the field, and they get the ball, and this is a little bit on our guy, Kellen Moore. They move the ball all game. And then Vic Fangio finally throws blitzes at them when they got to get down the field, and all of a sudden now they can't move it when they have to. I just paid my quarterback $50-something million a year, and when it was on the line, they looked horrible for the first time all day.
And didn't they lose to Miami the same way last year also?
That's who they are. How many games have they lost like that? You're a Charger fan. That's what they do.
Oh, no, I added more gray hair yesterday.
Yeah, at least you have hair.
But luckily I was in a sports bar so I couldn't toss anything across the house.
Yeah, at least you have hair. All right.
But it's just, it's tough. But otherwise, if Anthony Richardson, if I would have told you Anthony Richardson after what I said about him last week was going to be the best rookie quarterback of the weekend, I would have been in shock.
Yeah, it probably was. It's week 1, Lenny. Enjoy the Jets tonight. I know you will. I'll talk to you later. Thanks,
well,
man.
I'm going to just do that. Drink the Jets Kool-Aid. Take at least one upset tonight before the season implodes.
All right, we'll see how that goes. Enjoy it. 505-246-0610. Anthony Richardson, the best rookie quarterback yesterday? Probably. Right?
And shouldn't have been surprised because he was going to use his athleticism. Division game against the Jaguars. They're at home. He looked pretty good.
Can I give you one other guy that we've not mentioned yet that was pretty good yesterday? One other quarterback. I mean, we mentioned a lot of people. We haven't talked a lot about Brock Purdy, and we need to. Trevor Lawrence. He's got himself a number 1 weapon now. How much did I love on Calvin Ridley in this preseason?
Everyone did.
Yeah, everybody did. That's the one I'm kicking myself for not picking up last year at the end of the year, stashing him on my keeper league. The Trevor Lawrence was 24-32 for 241, efficient. He looked at Calvin Ridley 11 times. He's got a number 2 in Zay Jones. He's got a good tight end. If they can run the ball, and Etienne had 77 yards, like he's the guy that may make the most, because this almost feels like year 1 to 2 for him. It's year 2 to 3, but that Urban Meyer year almost doesn't count, right? This guy could be the biggest jump, and we could, and I'm not telling you something you've never heard before, but by the end of the year when you're talking about Mahomes, right, and then you say it's Burrow and Allen and Herbert, this guy could be in that Burrow, Herbert, Allen.
Yeah, it could be a Jalen Hurts like ascension this year for Trevor Lawrence, and he has those expectations on him. When you're the number 1 overall pick, and it's not just, by need, he's the best quarterback in this class. No, Trevor Lawrence was the guy we were looking at for 3 years.
Yeah, that's right. All right, when we come back, we're going in the red zone. DC's put together a pretty good list of conversation and topics that we've got to go through. Good thought points for you when we come back. Like, I don't know, which quarterback did this? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
Olivas going to the corner of the end zone. Nice grab there by Josh Jackson, and that's going to be a touchdown, El Dorado.
Their strong point, their focal point, and their
Nelson will keep it himself for some room on the right side. Nelson's on his feet, and he is in. It's a touchdown for Noah Nelson.
Sliding, they slid on a going out there. Linebacker, they're going for the big gutter play. How did he hold on to that? Ethan Olguin. My goodness, a 32-yard bomb. He's going to launch this one long, and it's a little bit short, but what a pull down. Fabian Trujillo. Unbelievable, this man.
Dyer, back to pass. Pressure, gets out of it nicely. On the sideline, got an open man. It's Lambrana. Cheeto makes one miss. Cuts back up the middle. Another cut to the right, and he's all the way down at the 10-yard line.
That's Sweet Junior?
Right?
That's Sweet Junior right
What a
there.
move there by Cheeto Lambrera.
Second and 1, give it to Gallus. Once again, he evades one tackle, evades two. Breaking into the open, there's a block, bye-bye. And he breaks the last tackle to get through. Jack Gallus with the touchdown.
Happy with his defense so far. Vukovic, and that ball is ripped up. Bernalillo will have this ball at the 1-yard line.
That's the extra yards for Cheeto. Dyer quickly, it's batted into the air, and it is picked off. Rams football as Rio Rancho finally gets the turnover they need as it's tipped into the waiting arms of Vicente Tafoya. Ryan Brown had punched it into the air and allowed Tafoya to come away with it. Let's see if Nelson can make it
right
pay.
back.
No! LaCueva gets it back on another tip drill. It falls into the waiting arms of the senior Luke Ryder.
Kick is up. It will bounce into the arms of Daniel Garcia, and Garcia explodes through the middle. He dodges Castro, and Garcia will run that one back from about the 17-yard line. Call that one an 83-yard touchdown rush.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust.
10. The sports animal.
Yeah, nobody's panicking in here, guys. It's week one doesn't define anybody's season. Obviously, not very good out there, but anybody that watched saw that. But we've been in this spot before. We've come back stronger and had great years, so that's what we're going to do.
Joe Burrow telling you to calm down. It's just 1 week on Overreaction Monday.
But it's not.
Nobody's panicking, guys. It's just 1 week. We were garbage. We got beat 23-3, but nobody's panicking, guys. All right, well, let's do it. I'll tell you what, at 9 o'clock, I'm going to give you my biggest winners and losers of the NFL weekend, for whatever that's worth to you. But right now, DC's put together some pretty good topics. Coming off of the first full Sunday in the National Football League this year, we're going into the red zone.
How much you want to make a bet I can throw a football over the mountains?
Are you crazy? I'm saying you're a football player.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to Tom Brady this game.
You're in the red zone with Jeff Symbieta and JJ Buck.
Let's go, baby!
It's first and goal.
All right, and like you said, the first Sunday of the NFL season is in the books. So let's talk about some of the younger quarterbacks, but not quite the rookies. Purdy, Ritter, and Love each led their teams to big wins last weekend. Statistically, each guy had quite a different stat line, but they all got the W. Which one of these quarterbacks impressed you the most and why?
Jordan Love. Just because of all the pressure that was on that young man, everything that went with it, coming out, all the noise. He's been there 3 years. It was his first start as being the guy taking over for a legend. And he looked like he belonged. He threw three touchdowns and no interceptions. He was in command all day long. They went on the road and they didn't win. They won 38-20. They pounded the Bears. I mean, for me, it's easy. It's Jordan Love.
It's Brock Purdy, because people wanted to doubt him. People wanted to downplay how good San Francisco was. And those first 2 touchdown passes, that's not just a game manager. That is a playmaker in this offense. And props to Jordan Love. Thumbs up, getting the win. But the 49ers pounded the better football team and made this Steelers defense, who we think is so good, look lost. And it wasn't just game manager flipping it out, handing it to Christian McCaffrey. He broke open that game, and then San Francisco did their thing.
Really good argument, but you're wrong.
Second and goal.
Ready, down, put.
Well, speaking of these elite defenses, they say defense wins championships. Several defenses made huge statements this weekend, and others fell completely flat. Which defensive unit made the biggest statement to you this last weekend?
Cleveland Browns. When you hold someone like T. Higgins, a big old goose egg, Joe Burrow, he's still coming back. He's telling everyone to relax. That was a statement from the Cleveland Browns defense, making what we think is one of the best offenses look lost for at least 1 week.
There's only one answer, and it's the Cowboys. They made such a statement that their offense didn't have to do anything, and you got Cowboy fans calling in after a 40-0 win saying, I'm worried about the offense. That's how good the damn defense was. They absolutely dismantled. I haven't seen an NFL team look that bad in a long, long time, and there have been bad teams in the NFL. But they made a playoff team who won a road playoff game, opening up at home last night, look like a team out of the Big Sky. They went in there and destroyed, and mark my words here, and let's see how this goes, because I don't know if this is right, but that's the kind of stuff that can destroy the confidence of a young quarterback like Daniel Jones for a long time. The Giants have to come back from that. To me, I mean, Dallas was just dominant, phenomenal statement last night defensively.
Third and goal.
All right, Joe Burrow's been telling us all morning to calm down because it's just week 1. However, I must admit, the Bears let me down and the Packers got me a little excited yesterday. In fact, both teams had me rethinking my pick for the NFC North by about halftime of that matchup. For better or worse, what team did the most to get you to rethink your preseason predictions?
Seattle. I don't know where that came from. I thought Seattle, and no time, I'm not disappointed because the Rams looked really nice. But Geno was was so pedestrian. Defensively, they're getting beat by the Puka and Tutu go to La La Land show. Like what? And look, Puka Nacua is going to be good. Tutu Atwell, fine. But Cooper Kupp's out. A Ram team that won 5 games last year that we had a conversation that could be the worst team in the NFC. And Rams went in and dominated. Seattle's got me thinking, did I completely misread this?
Cincinnati, Seattle, your gut Super Bowl.
So, yeah, and they both were horrible.
Don't overreact. Relax.
Just 1 week?
Just 1 week. To me, it's Justin Fields. I was so disappointed at how bad he looked as a passer. It looked like zero progression in the passing game, because for Chicago to compete this season, they needed Justin Fields to progress. They need that offense to be explosive, because that defense is still no good in Chicago. And Justin Fields didn't look like he got any better. And that's very disappointing.
4th and goal.
Did I stutter? Beer me.
All right, fantasy frustrations. I know that I am not the only one that had a complete bust on their fantasy football starting lineup last weekend. So what player or players let you down the most last weekend?
Tyler Lockett.
For your fantasy team? Yeah.
Put a Lockett in your pocket. You're thinking that this Seahawks offense, Geno Smith, DK Metcalf, now the rookie, Jackson Smith and Jigba, first-round pick, 3 wide receiver sets, they're going to get going. Nope, not at all.
My whole damn team. Lamar, Josh Jacobs, Treylon Burks. I mean, look at all the zeros I got. It was brutal. Yeah, but I look in Geno. Geno was something. People were telling me, oh, he might be the leading quarterback this week against a pathetic Rams defense. You can't name one guy outside of Aaron Donald, and the Rams are... What the hell? What about you? Who let you down?
Drake London.
Oh, all right.
0 points, 1 target, 0 catches. I thought he was going to be something. Did not happen this week.
Well, if you had Kenny Pickett or T. Higgins, there are plenty of dudes who really, really underperformed in fantasy this week. All right, that's
that's such a waste in Atlanta. You have Drake London and Kyle Pitts,
and
they're never going to throw the football.
And you got that guy throwing it to him. That's going to be just.
Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier.
Nice,
they're gonna get theirs. They're gonna run the football. But woof.
Desmond Ridder, 18 passes. He was 15 of 18, 115 and 1. The touchdown went to Bijan. Bijan looked good. How about Tyler Algier burglaring the touchdowns?
2 of them.
Yeah.
75 yards too. He looked pretty good.
All right, at 9:00, I'll give you my biggest winners and biggest losers. The NFL weekend, we'll break it down. It's open for you at 505-246-0610. That's the phone line and the text. And whoa, I haven't looked at this in a minute. You got a bunch of texts that have come in this morning, and I'll hit those when we get back. Emails, Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com, JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. When we return, they escaped. We always talk about the team who loses the Super Bowl. Were they lucky to get out of New England with a win? Haven't talked about the Eagles yet. It's next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Hi, my name is Daniel Chavez, and this is my business partner, David Chavez. We are the owners of Indeed Safety. Indeed Safety is a local safety consulting company helping our clients with their safety needs for their projects.
One of the things we pride ourselves as a construction safety company is helping our men and women in construction get home safe every day to their families. Indeed Safety is a proud supporter of ProView Network.
Hi, I'm Steve Stucker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Yeah, nobody's panicking in here, guys. It's week one doesn't define anybody's season. Obviously, not very good out there, but anybody that watched saw that. But we've been in this spot before. We've come back stronger and had great years, so that's what we're going to do.
Joe Burrow after his team. The Bengals lost to the Browns 24-3. Just 1 week, boys. But overreact, go ahead. It's the opening drive. Jeff, JJ, and DC. All right, what do we make of the Eagles? Eagles on Tom Brady Day go into a rainy Foxborough. Philly kicks 4 field goals. Eagles went 3 and out on 4 straight possessions in the first half. And they get out of there because Mac Jones had the ball late in catch-up mode. He threw the ball 54 times. You probably don't need Mac Jones throwing it 54 times. 316 yards and 3 touchdowns, but they could not run the ball. And in the end, Boutte couldn't get his feet down. And I thought the Patriots were going to come back and win. I really did. I thought that was going to be a Mac Jones moment with Tommy in the house, and the Eagles hold on. Nervous about the Eagles, or just win, baby, and get the hell out of there?
That's what Bill Belichick does. He had the entire offseason to game plan for Jalen Hurts and the Philadelphia Eagles offense. That's a credit to how good Bill Belichick is. And what they're going to do in New England is play defense.
So, can New England win games?
It's the same 8-9 win football team.
They got enough offense to win games? But they got to play the Bills twice, the Jets twice, the Dolphins twice. Right? Dolphins look great. We'll see what the Bills look like tonight in the Jets, but we think they're both really good.
That's a team that's going to be nipping for a wild card spot.
They got to find some offense. They got to be able to run the ball. All right, let's go to you. Text line, Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com is the email. Sid said, you and Mr. Carter look good on my fitty. We weren't even on my fitty, were we? Sid said, Mr. Symbieta, sure is nice being able to watch Lobo football on TV again. We were on the Mountain West Network. Hope you're able to catch some of it. We'll get it again this week. Gus is in on baseball. No overreaction here, he says. Can Albuquerque's baseball team come up with magic at Armando? They need a sweep of the Chihuahuas to keep their state tournament hopes alive. And struggling El Paso would like nothing better to send them back to Avenida de Stadium to check on their equipment. Can the Topes make a run and make the playoffs?
Maybe.
All right, fair enough. This is from Gopher. Dividers hot take. United lost at Birmingham 1-0 over the weekend. They are in 10th place. 6 to go. Top 8 make the playoffs. 4 points out of a playoff spot. Gopher said, Dividers hot take. Jeff, is it sacrilegious to say maybe the Dividers just aren't that good?
No, because I think he's been saying the same thing for like the last month.
I don't think it's sacrilege. I mean, when you're in 10th place in a 12 team table, I don't know. I mean, who is it that told me you are what your record says you are, right? Omar says, you and I are like one, Jeff. I was thinking the same thing. If this had been at Texas Stadium, it looked like Jerry paid Lobo Football $1.6 million to take a beating. I said, watching Cowboys and Giants last night, I mean, it was kind of like watching a bye game, wasn't it? It was watching an SEC team beat up on a Conference USA team or something like that, and yeah, it was a tough one. Tellis said, best result of the weekend, Jeff. Team and team-in-law both lost with the change in OD personnel. Hopefully we don't talk about either club the rest of the season. That would be the Vikings and the Colts. Who's your team-in-law?
That would be the Vikings.
So your team and your team-in-law lost.
Accurate.
Tilly, your team, or is your team-in-law the same as your team?
My team-in-law is my fantasy football team. I don't have another team I pull for in the NFL.
So you both lost, huh? All right. Rod says, nervous Lobo fans, Jefferson. Miami hung 50 on that Texas A&M squad we heard all week were so good. The game wasn't as close as the 15-point final score indicates. I don't think that they're nervous about what happened with Miami and A&M. They don't have to play those guys again. Bruce said most football team, Dirty Jerry? Question mark. Jeff, what was the Vegas win for New Mexico State? If the Aggies lose to the Lobos, are we looking at a 2-win team? No, not at New Mexico State. No, there's wins on there. They got better last week or last year as the season went on. No, I don't think so. When we come back, I got my biggest winners and biggest losers of the NFL weekend for you. I'll tell you who they are, why, see if you think the same way I do, and if you don't, or if you do, would love to hear from you. Disagree with me, please. That's coming up next. Biggest winner, not by margin, the biggest win. What did it mean for the franchise? It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.
burglary takes place in the United States approximately every 15 seconds. International Protective Service is your answer for commercial and residential security in all of Albuquerque. IPS will work with your monitoring company for fast, reliable response times. You can rest easy knowing you, your family, or your company is watched over by International Protective Service. Call International Protective Service today.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili.
Yeah, and JJ Bach.
Week 1. Relax. Don't overreact. Joe Burrow's been telling us that all morning. Don't overreact. Unless you're a Giant fan. Can you overreact at that point? Giants lost by 40 points. They lost the turnover battle 3-0. They got out-sacked 7-0. They threw a pick six and had a blocked field goal return for a touchdown. According to Bleacher Report, no team has ever done that in a season, and the Giants did it in one game. Let me give this to you again. Never in a season, according to this, has a team done all these things. Lost by more than 40. Lost the turnover battle by 3-0 or worse. Got out-sacked 7-0 or worse. And had a pick six and a blocked field goal return for a touchdown. In a season, they did it in game 1. They've been outscored like 73-7 in their last 2 games against the NFC East. Good morning to you. It's the opening drive, sunshine, on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Jeff Symbieta, JJ Buck, and DC. All right, if I asked you, and then I'm going to give you my biggest winners and losers of the week in the NFL. JJ, biggest impression. So negative, positive, whatever. The biggest impression from Sunday was what? Like just off the cuff. I know we didn't ask you this, no prep. So this is just like an off the cuff. Biggest impression was
trust in talent.
Okay.
And I think with the off season, there's so much where we want to find a reason not to be on a trend. Find a reason, I'm going to be the one that is opposite what is going on. And I just keep going back to San Francisco. Because you spend all that time talking about the entire roster. And then you get the Trey Lance situation thrown in there. And then so people want someone to take the blame. People want someone to be fired or step up and say, we got it wrong with Trey Lance. Okay. But then you realize that's the most talented team in the NFL. And Brock Purdy is showing you he's more than just the guy that's not going to crash the car. And I think there was a lot of that with San Francisco going in because I was totally wrong on that. I picked Pittsburgh to win that game.
I did too.
And Pittsburgh did not look like anywhere near a playoff team in that matchup.
What about you?
Yeah, I was leaning towards 49ers, and my impression is that they are legit. I started to question their defense when Bosa was out. He came right back in and played like a star. Purdy seems to be legit. He looked good. He was making good decisions. 49ers are legit.
This is my biggest impression too. All right, when we didn't stun anybody, they were all the same thing. All right, I'm going to give you my 3 biggest winners and losers. You want me to start winners or losers?
Let's go winners.
All right, and we go bottom and top.
Let's go.
All right, I usually do 3. I got 2 honorable mention on the biggest winners. Dallas Cowboys biggest winners point wise of the week, 40-0. Obviously, I give them honorable mention because of the way they did it, the just dominant fashion, going out and making a statement on a national game. And the other honorable mention for biggest winners didn't make my top 3, but the other honorable mention. See, we ram it when the Rams win around here. It's been a while since we've rammed it, DC. All right, so the Rams going on the road and winning like they did. I'm not going to put them in the biggest winner category because it's week 1. But JJ, this is a heck of a win going up to Seattle. And
They deserve to be in that category week 1.
All right, so you tell me if they bust your top 3 on this.
Okay, let's
go. Number 3 biggest winner on the week for me was Cleveland. Okay. Cleveland winning in Cincinnati. Their defense was terrific. Going on the road, I thought the biggest, and I'm not sold on it yet, but I thought the biggest wild card going into the season was how Deshaun Watson bounces back. And I thought the statement they made was a tremendous statement yesterday. So I'm going to call them the third biggest winner of the weekend. Second biggest winner of the weekend is Miami. And I almost made them number 1. But going across the country and making the statement against a Charger team that everybody believes is ready to make that step, that they just signed Herbert and they brought in Kellen Moore, and to go over there, win coming from behind, to a play like he did, come back. I thought Miami was, and then have a defensive stand at the end. Miami's number 2. But and so the way I do this is not just the biggest win, but it's the biggest win for your franchise. Okay, so overall, I'm looking big picture. Green Bay was the biggest winner of the weekend for me because I thought they had one of the biggest question marks going in what do they have a quarterback? So much on that young man in Jordan Love. So much about him, and they're going to Chicago, who's going to be better, and they've got the better quarterback, and they got Justin Fields, and you're going on the road, and they're without Christian Watson, he's without his best receiver. The biggest winner of the weekend was Green Bay. And you can put all those in order, Green Bay, Miami, or Cleveland. But I'm going with Green Bay just because I think it's just what it means for the franchise.
I would move Miami out of that because we got to start respecting that team.
But you don't think that was a statement win in the AFC, going across the country, beating?
Okay. But it's just the Chargers. And that's what they do. Okay. And we're talking about Miami, a healthy Tua, if he's in the MVP conversation.
Yeah.
Like, that shouldn't be surprising anymore.
Okay.
And for me, of what you listed, I would definitely put the Rams as a biggest winner of the weekend because that's the team everyone is looking at. You're on the road at Seattle. The 12th man. Geno Smith, the next best thing in this league, led the NFL in completion percentage.
Yeah.
He got beat by a Cooper Cup-less Rams team, and Matthew Stafford looked good.
So you would put the Rams in and take Miami out?
Yes.
Okay. You still good with Green Bay number 1?
I am.
All right. Here's my 3 biggest losers of the weekend. Giants, number 3. I mean, to get pantsed like that in your... Look, Dallas is good. Dallas is good. And if you lose 27-20 or you lose 32-28 or you lose 10-7, hell, if you lose 30-10, you lost 40-0 and got destroyed. Where's that music coming from? Oh, okay. Thank you. I was like, what, did I do something? I mean, they looked inept offensively. Their offensive line looked like a high school team going against a pro team. Their quarterback, understandably, looked lost because he was running for his life. They were dropping balls. They couldn't make kicks. They were horrible.
I feel like this weekend,
yeah,
they should be in a category of their own.
Okay. But I don't even have them as my biggest loser of the weekend.
I know. It almost be, let's put the Giants over here, and then let's talk about everyone.
All right. Well, I got them as number 3 because they got beat by Dallas. So at least it's number 3. Number 2, Chicago. I didn't buy in. I know you guys bought in. DC especially, you bought in. And again, it's 1 week. But it was at home against a guy making his first start as the number 1 quarterback. They were without their best receiving weapon. It was the time that Justin Fields was making his big move. They brought in a receiver and number 1 in DJ Moore. They got run out of their own building. I thought they were the number 2 biggest losers. And I'm going to tell you this, the number 1 biggest loser of the week for me, and we haven't talked a lot about this, but it was the number 1, well, not, yeah, I think they were, they were not the number 1 seed. The number 2 seed in the NFC last year. The Minnesota Vikings, to me, are the number 1 loser in this whole thing, and we haven't talked about them at all. But they got beat by a team that many thought was the worst team in the NFC. They played at home. Yeah, Kirk Cousins puts up a lot of yards. He always does. He's a good fantasy football quarterback. But Baker Mayfield and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Todd Bowles went in there and turned them over, controlled the ball, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers went up to Minnesota and beat the Vikings. All of a sudden, your last 2 games, you got beat at home. In a playoff game, you got beat by Daniel Jones and the Giants, and now you got him paid. Daniel Jones should send Minnesota half his check. And then this team just beat you on opening day. The biggest loser of the weekend to me is Minnesota.
Ding, ding, ding. For the Minnesota Vikings, it's a team that won an NFL record, 11 one-score games last year. And that's 2 one-score losses. Going back to the playoffs, a loss at home to the Giants, this game at home to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And it's just, you look at what Justin Jefferson did. He is an unstoppable presence. There's dudes in this league that it's impossible to cover, and he's one of those guys. Justin Jefferson, 138 yards in the first half, 12 in the second half, 12 yards in the second half. And Kirk Cousins needed to be a playmaker in the fourth quarter. He wasn't. And this Tampa Bay team, they're going to be limited by Baker Mayfield. But there is more talent than to be a sneaky tank, and they showed it in week 1.
When we come back, do you agree with my wins and losses, or my biggest winners and losers?
I do.
We'll do that on Mondays. I know we got a lot of things we're doing now, but we'll do that on Mondays.
It's a lot going on. But yeah, the Vikings, I watched that game, and that was a train wreck.
I mean, if you're a Viking fan, you've got to be going, so you figure you got one more year at Kirk Cousins. Jefferson wants to get paid. Dalvin's gone. Second year of Kevin O'Connell. Should have a better defense. And you lose to them?
That Jefferson thing is something to keep an eye on, though.
Don't you think?
It really is. I started hearing that they might use him as a trade piece to get a quarterback when Cousins is gone. It's kind of an interesting thought. The fact that they didn't get the extension done, though, is a kind of big deal.
Now, they threw at him 12 times, and he caught the ball 9. I mean, look, he was 9 for 150. He's still that dude. But they're in trouble. All right, on Friday, the 3 of us are trying to explain to you how hard it is to bet. And we each took our favorite 3 against the line, NFL. How'd we do? Again, we're trying to make you money, and we're doing a hell of a job of it. It's next on the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal, your home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football.
London's calling.
Olivas going to the corner of the end zone. Nice grab there by Josh Jackson, and that's going to be a touchdown, El Dorado.
Their strong point, their focal point here.
Nelson will keep it himself for some room on the right side. Nelson's on his feet, and he is in. It's a touchdown for Noah Nelson.
Sliding, they slid on it going out there. Linebacker, they're going for the big gutter play. How did he hold on to that, Ethan Olguin? My goodness, a 32-yard bomb. He's going to launch this one long, and it's a little bit short, but what a pull down. Fabian Trujillo. Unbelievable, this man.
Dyer, back to pass. Pressure, gets out of it nicely. On the sideline, got an open man. It's Lambrana. Cheeto made one miss. Cuts back up the middle. Another cut to the right, and he's all the way down at the 10-yard line.
Is that Sweet Junior?
Right?
That's Sweet Junior right
What
there.
a move there by Cheeto Lambrera.
2nd and 1. Give it to Gallus. Once again, he evades one tackle, evades two. Breaking into the open. There's a block. Bye-bye. And he breaks the last tackle to get through. Jack Gallus with the touchdown.
With his defense so far. Vukovic, and that ball is ripped up. Bernalillo will have this ball at the 1-yard line.
That's the extra yards for Cheeto. Dyer quickly, it's batted into the air, and it is picked off. Rams football as Rio Rancho finally gets the turnover they need as it's tipped into the waiting arms of Vincente Tafoya. Ryan Brown that punched it into the air and allowed Tafoya to come away with it. Let's see if Nelson can make it pay. No! LaCueva gets it back on another tip drill. It falls into the waiting arms of the senior Luke Ryder.
Kick is up. It will bounce into the arms of Daniel Garcia, and Garcia explodes through the middle. He dodges Castro, and Garcia will run that one back from about the 17-yard line. Call that one an 83-yard touchdown rush.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
Anybody's season. Obviously, not very good out there, but anybody that watched saw that. But we've been in this spot before. We've come back stronger and had great years, so that's what we're going to do.
I want you to remember that as you lick in your wounds after betting this weekend, too, and your fantasy football teams. And everything else that you thought you knew about that you didn't know about. Thank you, Joe Burrow. It's just week one. Yeah, nobody's panicking. Couldn't you keep that in the hotkeys? Like, nobody's panicking. It's week one. So on Friday, we told you we want to make you money. I mean, told you there's a reason. I don't know how much you guys bet. I don't bet very much because I'm not very good at it. Every time I think I knew something, I don't know. So we took three, each one of us, Friday afternoon or Friday before we left. We took 3 bets off the NFL lines, and we'll see. Hey, you want to do this every Friday? We'll keep a running tally. See how really, really, really bad we are. And it's suggested to you go against us. JJ, you took the Steelers plus 2.5 at San Francisco. Didn't work.
Wrong.
You took the Packers plus 1 at Chicago. Winner, winner. Go get some dinner. You took the Chargers minus 3 at home against Miami.
Wrong.
1-3. I took the Steelers plus 2.5 at San Francisco. I took Atlanta minus 3.5 at home against Carolina. It's a winner. And I went under the 46.5. I thought that number was too big for Jacksonville and who they play, Indianapolis. I just didn't think they were going to be able to score enough, and that was wrong too. That was a really high scoring game. It was a 31-21, so it was 51. So I went 1-3. You, my friend, took the Vikings minus 5.5 at home against the lowly Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Not only did they not cover, they lost outright. You took New Orleans minus 3 at home against Tennessee. They won by a point. You lose that one too. And you took the Colts plus 4.5 on the road. Or I'm sorry, at home versus Jacksonville 0-3.
Yeah, bet against me. But so we're 2-9 or 2-7 between the three of us.
2-9. Yeah, 2-9. I'm sorry, you're right. 2-7. 2-7. Yeah.
2 out of 9.
That is so bad. and these were like our 3 favorites. It's not like we had to bet every game. We just, these are the ones I like. Shows how hard it is. Good luck to you while you're out there. 2-7 between 3 guys who think we know what the hell we're talking about. How'd you do this week on a fantasy football too? Oh yeah, just like that. All right, you're in on the text line too, 505-246-0610. Which of the NFL's Week 1 high point scoring teams, the Rams or the Cowboys, will end up horrible throughout the season? Well, if one of those is going to end up horrible, it's going to be the Rams, right? We think that. Cowboys look nice. You know what? The Rams look really nice too.
Just wait till Cooper Kupp gets back. I mean,
if he comes back.
Yeah, that 4 games kind of came out of nowhere a little bit, but if he comes back on week 5, that could be a really interesting team.
Yep. This one says, hi, about the 49ers all-around team. Purdy is a natural with this team. 49ers. Did the 49ers made the biggest statement of the weekend? Biggest statement of the weekend, going out there and controlling what we all thought was going to be a pretty nice team in Pittsburgh. Yep. They look great. This one says, where was Christian Washington Saturday night? There was no mention at all. Christian Washington got beat out, from what I understand. He fell down the depth chart. He's a running back for the Lobos, and he fell down the depth chart. He got beat out by 3 or 4 other dudes. We saw Henry. They transferred from Louisiana Monroe. Looked like he scored a touchdown.
There were some messages being sent.
Well, I think that's right.
By the coaching staff. The fact that Dorian Lewis became RB2
mm-hmm.
behind Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt and showed some burst. Looked good in his carries in the second half.
Sherrod White was 3, and then Henry was 4. And you did not see Chris Washington. I'm going to guess when you're at Texas A&M and taking kicks not only 3 yards deep in the end zone, but 9 yards deep in the end zone and coming out, and coaches are going to make a statement. They're going to take away playing time. So I'm going to guess that's what happened. This one says, overreaction-wise, which teams will be in the AFC, NFC championship games and the Super Bowl? After week 1, who do you like?
Are we going to see Packers 49ers?
Well, in the NFC championship game, you'd see Dallas 49ers right now, wouldn't you? Who's the best AFC team?
This is
after week 1 overreaction,
where I'm going to pump the brakes.
Yeah.
Bears are not good.
Okay.
But I'm not putting the Packers above the Eagles or the 49ers.
Yeah. Let's see them beat somebody else. But give it to them going on the road with all the noise around them, right?
Yeah.
Next week they get the Falcons on the road. And they get the Saints at home.
Packers are in a good spot.
Let me give you a little bit of an underperformance, but they got away with it because they won. The Saints. Saints played a Tennessee team that didn't want to win. I mean, that's not fair. But Ryan Tannehill was bad. I mean, are you concerned about the Saints? They're 1-0, but they didn't look that damn good.
Not because of the division's nothing to be concerned about.
Oh, I don't know. Look at mighty Tampa Bay. They went on the road. Carolina doesn't look good. Tampa Bay, I don't think will be good. And you're not sold on Atlanta, right?
The Atlanta Falcons and New Orleans Saints are so comparable. Even if you believe in Derek Carr over Desmond Ridder, which you should, the style of play of Atlanta is going to keep them in games. They're going to run the football. Defensively, it's going to take a lot of pressure off their defense. It's still going to be tight in the NFC South.
You know, New Orleans can be interesting to me to see how they get through these first 3 games, because I do believe Alvin Kamara makes a difference for them, don't you?
Well,
Definitely.
The passing game was pretty good.
He threw for over 300 yards.
Kidding? They had Michael Thomas in this wide receiver 2, wide receiver 30 thing is perfect for him at this point in his career.
Yes.
Olave, and then Shaheed is an explosive player. Like, Derek Carr has 3 legitimate guys on the outside. You
Plus a
mentioned
tight
it.
end.
And then they get Alvin Kamara back to work with Jamal Williams. Like, they should pull away from the rest of the NFC.
He threw at Michael Thomas 8 times. 5 for 61 was Thomas. Shaheed 5 for 89. Olave 8 for 112. So you're not concerned. They just didn't get in the end zone. You felt they moved the ball well. They just didn't score. That's fair. They won 16-15 over Tennessee. And Tennessee looked horrible. Horrible. All right. I think I'm up to date on your text at 505-246-0610. All right, when we come back, I want to do some other stuff over the weekend, and it's open for you on the NFL. This was a big weekend. Coco Gauff winning the U.S. Open was a big deal. Djokovic winning his 24th Grand Slam was a big deal. USA basketball not medaling at the World Cup was a big deal. A lot of other stuff that I want to touch on. I got thoughts on all of that, and you're welcome in on all the NFL stuff as well. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Your home for the Sunday night, Monday night, and Thursday night football. 94.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walk up to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
These are more than just the sounds of a safe place to go after school. These are the sounds of interest being ignited and of mentors making an impact. At Boys and Girls Clubs, we don't do just one thing. We do whatever it takes to meet the needs of every kid who comes through those doors. Because whatever it takes is what it takes to build great futures. Great futures start here.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, red and green chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier sweet rolls. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenprideabq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs are proud supporters of ProView Sports.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
The Jim Rome Show is up next at 10 on 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
Yeah, nobody's panicking in here, guys. It's week one doesn't define anybody's season. Obviously, not very good out there, but anybody that watched saw that. But we've been in this spot before. We've come back stronger and had great years, so that's what we're going to do.
Joe Burrow after getting beat 23-3 by the Cleveland Browns.
Relax.
I'm going to be over with TJ today, I think. And TJ's I'm going to talk him off the ledge, right? He's going to be over the skis with his team winning. It's got to be a big deal. Finally heard from our guy Dan, Seahawk Dan. My kids need to be taken behind the woodshed. Talk about a lackluster performance. It's going to be a long season. Let's talk about the Seahawks. USA basketball squad's performance was the biggest disappointment for me as a fan this weekend. Go Coco Gauff. Text line says, Jeff and JJ, the biggest winner of the weekend is University of Texas. They're finally back and putting the SEC on notice for next season. It's from Ronnie. Big win. Sark and the boys going to Tuscaloosa, and they beat Alabama 34-24, first double-digit loss at home in the Nick Saban tenure. It's impressive. Text line says, shout out to Mississippi State coach and Albuquerque's own Zach Arnett on their victory over Arizona. The F-bomb at the end was kind of funny. LOL, hashtag our Burke kid. La Cueva and former Lobo Zach Arnett is the head coach there, and a big win by them over Arizona. And he dropped an F-bomb live on the SEC network after the game. I want to hit a couple things, and we're open for all kinds of the football, but to go through a weekend like this and not recognize what happened at the U.S. Open, I think first of all, Coco Gauff winning. I saw a tweet. It was 55 or 50 years to the day that Arthur Ashe became the first African-American to win the U.S. Open. And she's the first first American teenager to win since Serena at the U.S. Open. And I don't know, it gets lost in the football, and I understand it. And she beat Aryna Sabalenka 2-6, 6-3, 6-2. And she was humble and cocky at the same time, if that makes sense. Right? And she acknowledged Serena, and she acknowledged the past, and then she thanked her haters for fueling her. She has the potential to be a superstar. Now, I don't know. She's not there yet, right? And I don't know how big a tennis star can be. Serena's as big as it can be, right? And so would you say Serena is a superstar? Would you guys both agree?
Yes, definitely.
And Coco's got a long way to go. A long way to go. But to win one of those, I thought I was really, really significant. And then for Djokovic to win his 24th, the most ever, and take off a shirt that had a picture of him and number 24, Kobe Bryant, with whom he said he was friends, and honor Kobe at the U.S. Open. He beat Daniil Medvedev. I again, two things, and I know you don't watch a lot of tennis, and I don't want to spend a ton of time, but I think we'd be really remiss if we completely ignored the significance of what happened at the U.S. Open, because it's getting a lot of coverage. I watched more U.S. Open this time around than I probably have in a long time. It was good. It's got good stories and really interesting personalities. I don't know if you guys watched any of that. And then there was the hoops. Then there is the basketball. And JJ, you got people, you said to me last week, nobody knows that the World Cup of basketball is going on. And nobody will know until they lose. Well, they lost 3 times over there, did the U.S. Americans. They lost in pool play. Then they lose in the semifinals to Germany, who won the whole thing. And they lose to Canada and do not medal. Now, all of a sudden, we're hearing LeBron wants to play in the Olympics, and Anthony Davis wants to play in the Olympics, and Steph Curry wants to play in the Olympics. I guess our regular pros aren't good enough anymore. And look, if they want to play, they will freaking play, right? You're not telling LeBron and Steph Curry and Anthony Davis no. But your take out of that, because this put all of USA basketball on notice.
When LeBron James, Steph Curry, Anthony Davis are speaking out, the players on Team USA that just participated in the FIBA World Cup need to understand, like, this stuff matters. And I get it's not how you're going to get your next Supermax deal, or when we're debating about who the best in the game is, and we're talking about championships and NBA performance, like, this stuff isn't going to factor in. But at some point, too, as a competitor, as a basketball player, like, you should want to do good over there. And I don't think that they didn't want to do good, but there was definitely a sense of where Team USA will be okay from this specific group of players. They didn't defend when it mattered. They didn't rebound the basketball. And I don't think they realized that when you're Team USA and you lose, you're going to get punked. Like, and people are going to go at you. And all of a sudden, when you have the superstar speaking up, it's like, oh, man, this kind of did matter. I know people weren't paying attention to us. And if we would have won, it would have been like, okay, it's what you're supposed to for a lot of people. But there is high expectations for Team USA basketball. It's just the one thing you just, as a competitor, when you put that jersey on, it resonates with people. And this was a disappointing performance because these are guys that are good enough. Anthony Davis, Brandon Ingram, Jaren Jackson Jr. is the Defensive Player of the Year candidate in the NBA. And he didn't even medal.
Didn't even medal. Yeah, and your coaching staff, you've got Steve Kerr, Eric Spoelstra, Mark Few. I mean, did you look at the bench? It's an all-star team of coaches. But I don't know that most of you could tell me who was on that team and what team they play for in the NBA. Does it matter? So if Curry, LeBron, AD, Tatum go over there, is that a different story now? Dude, the rest of the world can ball.
They can. And that's why it matters, because everyone else has gotten better. And you can't coast. And international basketball is fantastic competition.
The rest of the world is balling right now. It matters to a lot of people. Did it matter to you? And you know, I guess a lot of you didn't notice it. Locally, Topes are coming down the stretch. Lobo Soccer, big win over the Aggies yesterday. JJ had the call. 3-1, right?
3-1. Offense got going, looked good.
Big win. United was on the road at Birmingham. Lost 1-0. United are in 10th in the table out of 12, 6 to go, 4 points out of 8th, which is the final playoff spot. 505-246-0610. David, good morning. You are on The Sports Animal. Hi, David.
Hello. A couple of things. At least some of my hated teams lost, so I guess that's good NFL-wise. But ultimately, all this talk about the winners and the losers, it's kind of premature. But in that tradition, what 4 teams do you think will be in the NFC and NFC championship games and the Super Bowl? If you had to put the future bets now, because ultimately now is the time to make that future bet, meaning whatever the odds would be, they would be phenomenal. But the main reason I'm calling is it's nice and fitting for the superstar basketball players to say they want to be in the Olympics and let's go Olympic-wise because Team USA is doing horrible. Didn't the Dream Team win the bronze medal in one of the Olympics years ago? Meaning the world is caught up with NBA basketball players because they play in the NBA and then they go play their national team. But that said, it's kind of fitting for these NBA players, Curry, James, Anthony, to say, oh, we want to play in the Olympics. Why weren't these 3 in the tournament that just ended?
Right. And it's easy to say that. No, I appreciate you. United States in the 2004 Summer Olympics, and thanks, David, in Athens, I believe, won they were favored to win the gold. In 2004, they won the previous 3 Olympics, but they did take bronze in 2004. That was a team with Allen Iverson, Stephon Marbury, Dwayne Wade, Carmelo Anthony, LeBron James, Amari Stoudemire, Tim Duncan. Yeah, they took bronze back in 2004. If you were asking me who's like, I'm not changing. I don't think who I think is going to be in the NFC and AFC championships. I still think Kansas City and I still think Cincinnati are going to be there. They're both 0-1. Right now, I mean, it's 2 of those 3 teams in the NFC. It's still the Eagles, the Cowboys, Niners, right?
Still.
Yeah.
You were on Seattle.
I know. I'm off Seattle now.
Bye-bye, Seattle.
I'm off Seattle for now. They looked horrible. Horrible. But so did Cincinnati.
But I believe in Cincinnati more than I do Seattle bouncing back. to be
Don't
a
you?
conference champion.
Yeah. Aaron, good morning. You're on the Sports Animal.
Hey, just want to get in real quick on Novak Djokovic. I mean, how unbelievable it is. You know, you can take Tiger Woods majors, throw in Phil Mickelson's majors, and then give yourself a little Jordan Spieth, and now you've got 24, which is what Novak Djokovic has.
It's insane, right?
And just to say, like, it's unbelievable. And he's getting into, like, Michael Phelps' stupid numbers. But the era of tennis at which he played, if you were to say, hey, who are the top 5 men's players, 2 of those, or 3 of those 5, he was in with.
Nadal and Federer.
One of those 3.
Yeah, and Nadal and Federer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Where if you take Serena Williams and you say, who are the top 5 women's
You
players
don't have
ever,
another one.
she didn't play in those eras with those other top 5.
That's totally
I mean,
fair.
what he's doing and when he's doing it, unbelievable.
Yep.
And then you get into a little bit more sloppy. That was the women's final. If you look at Sabalenka, she had more unforced errors than she did winners. And any tennis coach would look at that stat and say, you can't win. It's very, very sloppy. That's really, really bad.
Yeah.
And an unforced error is not, hey, I'm stretched out and I got to go for it. That is a ball sitting in the middle of the court that you are just missing. So I'm glad Coco Gauff won, but it was a very ugly final to watch if you're a tennis fan.
Thanks,
I'm
Aaron.
out.
No, that's great. It's great perspective. Look, when we start talking about best of all time, you know, we always talk Tiger, right? We always talk Serena. He's not wrong. Djokovic. Now I'll put Tiger's field up against the field of any era in golf, right? Before him, but Joker was doing this with Federer and Nadal, both putting up numbers, and what he's done is bonkers, just bonkers. And whether you watch the sport or not, the way he's dominated on a world stage is unreal. When we come back, I am going to kick off Rivalry Week with your Jason. Your first Jason email of the week. I expect one every day this week, don't you? From Jason? He's got a joke for you. He's got your rivalry smack that has started because this weekend is the Rivalry of Enchantment. So that's coming up next on 95.9 FM and AM 610 Sports Animal. You're home for Sunday night and Monday night and Thursday night football. I want to tell you about IPS, International Protective Service. I know you see their vehicles everywhere. You see their officers when you go into stores now. You see them in front of my house. They come by my house every day. I've trusted IPS as my private security company for years. They protect my home. They give my family sense of security. My neighbors as well. My neighbors use them as well. It's affordable private security. Aaron Jones started IPS back in 2006 to protect homes and businesses, but now he's looking for help. So if you're a former or retired police officer, if you've got military or security experience, if you want to make our city a better place to live, fill out an application. IPSglobal.com is where you can go. They've got world-class professionals who will train you to handle almost any situation. The number is 505-897-2420, 505-897-2420, or you can go online at IPSglobal.com. Join IPS if you want to make Albuquerque a better and a safer place to live and work.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. International Protective Services is a proud supporter of ProView Sports and New Mexico Youth Athletics. IPS provides residential and commercial security services in the Albuquerque metro area. For more info, please call 505-897-2420 or visit internationalprotectiveservice.com. ProView Networks would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible. Hans Whitler Automotive, German car maintenance and repair in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Call 505-294-7684 or visit hanswhitlerauto.com.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi, I'm Steve Stunker here for Dr. Robert Melendez and the Juliet Eye Institute. You may remember me like this, but no more. The glasses are gone. I tossed them months ago because of a brand new procedure from Dr. Melendez known as RLE, Refractive Lens Exchange. The latest technology, the best eyesight I've ever had in my life, and you can check it out by clicking on the link in the description right here.
That was Aaron Rodgers, huh? Yeah, it's telling you what Joe Burrow's been telling you all day. Relax. It's after week 1. I got a good kickoff rivalry week smack email from Jason coming up for you. Frank, good morning. Thanks for holding your on these Sports Animal.
Morning, guys.
Good morning, Frank.
I got up early and I took my Bronco tag off my car. I'm done with that. And I just wanted to talk about that for 2 seconds.
Yeah.
I found one of my tenants had a Detroit Lions when he was from Flint, Michigan. So it's serendipity, man. It's the way it is. I'm 62. I'm standing in the rain in Placitas, and I'm here to confess it's okay to change teams. When I think of Denver, I think basketball. I think Lodo. I think 16th Street. The elephants at the zoo have huge penises. I don't think about football anymore. If I think of football in Colorado, you know where I'm going. Got to go to Boulder. Anyway, anybody wants an old dented up Bronco tag, it's all yours.
Thank you, Frank. Stay dry out there. Guess it's raining out in Edgewood. Is that what he said? It's okay to change teams at 62 years old or at 12.
I thought that was my neighbor.
It might have been.
He had a Bronco sign up yesterday. It's not
Gone
there
now.
anymore.
Colorado football is CU football.
I don't know if you're going to be a Raider fan. I haven't heard from you at all. Well, actually, I heard from one Raider fan today. We got one. First place, Las Vegas Raiders. Sole possession of first place in the AFC West. The Raiders. Yeah, that's right, because they're the only team who's got to win. All right, this is from Jason. It says, Hell Week. Good morning, OD. Welcome to HE Hockey Sticks Week, the 1 week during the year that people in the 505 and 575 actually behave as if they care about college football. This is a year where, unlike most years, both programs are harboring a real belief that they can play football games in December, so this game has a little extra green or red with the spice in this one. For the Lobo program, this game is about credibility for Danny. By the way, did you see C.J. Montes throw for 309 yards and 5 TVs versus MAC member Buffalo? I did not. I noticed that a story that has been buried, but that is for another day. This game for the Aggies is a chance to right the ship and gain momentum. Hell Week is here. Crimson League. Jason, rivalry joke. Where would you hide Lobo football tickets from a Lobo fan? Under the toothpaste or the soap. And Jeff, for the record, using the analogy of, all right, so let me put this into perspective. We talked about the Cowboys last night, and I said it was like a bye game. And it was like watching, and we did at one point, so it was like watching the Lobos play Texas A&M or watching a Conference USA team play a SEC team. He said it was watching, using the analogy of it was like a Big Sky or Conference USA team playing an SEC team. He said the Big Sky, and he's right, Idaho did trounce a Mountain West squad, Nevada, and another Big Sky school, Eastern Washington, took Fresno State to overtime. I also believe Conference USA is not lost to an FCS opponent. I believe you're right. Fair. It's like a bye game. How about that? Because I think you're right. I don't think Conference USA not lost to an FCS opponent. However, how many teams have lost to it? Was Nevada the only one who's lost to an FCS opponent? FBS team to lose to an FCS opponent. Because Nevada got pumped at home by Idaho. I got a text from a buddy of mine. He's a big Nevada booster. He said, I don't think you're going to have to worry about how Nevada travels to a bowl game this year. So you're probably right. UTEP played at Northwestern. A bad Northwestern team got beat 38-7. How about Middle Tennessee played with Missouri? Pretty good. That was a nice Conference USA matchup. Middle's going to be a nice team there. I'm just looking to see. Okay, Middle Tennessee went to Alabama, got beat 56-7. That's kind of the thought. Anyway, all right, fair enough. All right, what do we got tonight with the Jets? What do you expect? Jets, Bills tonight. I know a lot of people are calling the Jets in an upset. People aren't on the Bills. Great Jets defense. Hard Knocks hype. Who you got tonight? Jets or Bills?
Bills.
Bills are a 2-point favorite.
Buffalo by field goal.
I don't want to be the Hard Knocks guy, but 9/11 in New York is the thing. I think they're going to come out, and I think the Jets win.
By the way, and I've got it right here, and I want to open this segment with this. I don't want today to go by without recognizing 9/11. And it was 22 years ago this morning. I think all of us are old enough to remember where we were on that day. And there are people who are still dealing with that every day. And hats off, hearts out to every family affected. And every one of us was affected, but certainly some more than others, right? Our world, not our country, changed that day. Our world changed that day. And I had it written down. I've been meaning to start so many of these segments with it. Take a moment to remember. There's slogans out there, right? There's slogans that mean more than others. Don't let this be a slogan. It says we will never forget, right? It says we will never forget. You remember that morning?
Very well, actually. I was at my parents' house, and I remember waking up and seeing the TV, like, what is going on? My mom kind of filled me in and instructed me to go get gas because apparently there was none available. But that was crazy.
That's what instructed you to go get gas.
Yeah, I guess all the gas stations in town were lines out the door. They thought there was going to be no fuel available. So that was wild.
You remember it?
I do. Middle school.
Yeah. I was working for the Scorpions. That was the year I was VP at the Scorpions. I was married. Woke up, the radio went on and heard it on the radio, flipped on the TV, and I'm like, what the heck are we watching? And initially they weren't sure if it was an accident or what happened. And then when you watched live on TV,
the
second plane hit the tower, and you're like, holy bleep, right? We are under attack. And I did go into the office that day. I was working for the Scorpions. I was the VP over there for that year. And remember, we all just sat in one office all day long and stared at the TV, mouths agape, and just it was one of the most, for everybody. Everybody's got their story. And then I remember getting a text from an old college buddy who was working on Wall Street or working down there, and he's my old roommate. And he said, bastards missed me by about 5 feet. Like he was in his office, and I guess somehow I've talked to him since, and the shrapnel from where he wasn't in that building, he was across the street, and he basically said the bastards missed me by 5 feet. And just listen to the stories my cousin told me how she was running up the street. And just take a moment. I know we all it's do it your way, and I never tell you how to live, but this is one of those, man. We always say, we'll always remember, never forget. And you get the feeling. And by the way, kudos to Mike McCarthy for wearing the FDNY hat yesterday and Brian Dable when he was wearing a hat, not a hood, had a new NYPD hat. He had a lot of different looks last night. And I imagine both the Jets and the Bills will be remembered today. But 9/11, I think that it wasn't a big deal for the Giants last night. I think there's so much hype around this thing. I think the Jets win tonight too. I do too. But this is a really interesting one. This is a great game. All right. Tomorrow, Jerry Kill's going to be with us. We're going to talk to him about the rivalry from the Aggie side. Kind of fired up a little bit about rivalry week around here, aren't you?
It's huge. The season for Lobo fan hinges on our next two games.
Thank you to Danny Gonzalez. Lobo football coach was with us today. Jim Romish next. The Herd with Colin Coward after that. 2 men on at 4. And then you get the Jets and Bills here on your home for the National Football League. DC, great work. Adrian looks great. Big day for you.
Huge day.
All right, enjoy it. Be good to each other, please. We're back at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning with award-winning radio. Then be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you then.
We would like to thank the following sponsors for making this broadcast possible.
Here at Clark's Pets, we understand your pets. We take meticulous time to find out more about them. Dig deep into their world to understand their needs. We do research for knowledge of each pet, so you can trust Clark's Pets to provide you the best products and service for your pets, because we work hard to understand all of their needs. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
For 50 years, Clark's Pet Emporium has been your pet's favorite stop.
I am Michael Azera, midfielder for New Mexico United. Clark's support for the United is an example of their commitment to local partnerships. Clark's understands that paying it forward develops a better team and ultimately better community partner.
When you need pet food and supplies,
Clark's is always the best shot.
Locally owned and operated with 2 convenient locations.
Go United!
ClarksPets.com.
We here at Clark's Pet Emporium welcome you to bring in your pets. We know that having your pet with you makes the experience of shopping for them even better. And we welcome you to bring your kids also. Clark's Pet Emporium, your pet's second best friend.
These days, it's important to know people and businesses you can trust. There's a lot of places where you can buy a vehicle, but there's only a few local dealerships where you'll find honest people who have your best interests in mind. And Fiesta Kia is one of them. We've been helping our neighbors save money and drive dependable cars for years, and we'd love to help you. With new Kias arriving daily, you'll love our selection and the peace of mind you'll get driving a Kia from Fiesta. So stop by and see us today at Fiesta Kia on Lomas, or just start driving now at fiestakia.com.